Hello everyone and welcome to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. My name is Cutie and as always we focus on Soulslikes, Roguelikes, Metroidvanias, and other adventurous speedruns. Now today we've got a couple of those categories. First up, we're going to have Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, Zangetsu Only, Ultimate Casual. That's a lot of clarifiers, but basically it's Castlevania with a sword. And then afterwards we're going to have The Last Faith, which is a Bloodborne inspired Souls-like Metroidvania. Yes, all those things go together. It's super fun. It's really cool. You're going to love it. But before we get started, we are the first show on the Monday lineup, so I do want to remind everyone, if you're curious about what's coming up on Hotfix, you can always check out this week's schedule and explore our full season lineup at gdq.gg/hotfix. And you can also catch up on past shows, special events, and GDQ marathons over on the youtube.com/gamesdonequick. The YouTube, just YouTube. That's not the... And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything GDQ. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and bring in our runner, Phil7, aka Pro Piece, doing Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, Zangetsu Only, Ultimate Casual, all those things. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. This was last minute, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so for reference, I should have brought it up. We did have someone who was unable to join us today. He was kind enough to join us on short notice because this game goes really well with The Last Faith. And if you didn't notice on the schedule, I am running The Last Faith because, again, we had somebody drop out. So I appreciate deeply that you were able to join us on a couple of days' notice, and we're going to have some fun today.
Yeah, no problem.
So go ahead, and I know you've been on the show before, but give us a quick introduction about yourself, about the game, anything we can expect to see here, and then whenever you're ready, we can get into it.
All right, I'm Phil7 still. So this is Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. This game was a Kickstarter stretch goal for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night when Inti Creates or whoever, I don't remember who actually developed it, was making this game. So it's an 8-bit prequel to Ritual of the Night, if you ever played it. So then we're going to play Ultimate, and then I'm going to play Casual because I didn't have time to practice Veteran, but that's all right. And then time's going to start when we get first movement, so I'll call time once we go through that. So there's a bit of an intro, but we just press start and skip it. And time is go. All right.
Good luck. Have fun.
So, thank you. So, as you see, this is a 2D Castlevania. I guess Crystalline was also a Castlevania inspired, but this is more 2D. So as the category suggests, this is Zangetsu only. So our Zangetsu has his sword. There are damage values, which we won't actually see, but the sword does 4 damage normally. There's a crescent moon, which is that wider slash, which you only get in you get by killing other characters, but we won't be doing that since we already have them in ultimate mode. Then he has a dash, which he gets by killing, I don't remember his name, he's the Alucard knockoff. And then we got a double jump, which is by killing Miriam, I believe. And then Alfred gives us the crescent slash. But then a new thing with ultimate mode is he gets a charge slash, which is 12 damage per slash. And then there is a chance on bigger enemies for us to get a double hit or even a triple hit. We'll see if we can get multiple on the boss upcoming. But yeah, as you saw, we were on a big train. This stage is pretty simple because we're meant to play with Zangetsu since he's our only one. So this is the Glutton train, which he has on normal mode. He has 120 health, and on casual he has 160. All right, so as you saw, I got 2 hits there with my charge slash. I'm going to back up a bit. So the name of the game is mostly charge slash and kind of juggle that while you're charging with the ball and chain, because the ball and chain does 5 damage, no, it does 7 at a cost of 3 weapon points. So it's actually a pretty big trade-off, or pretty good trade-off.
Now,
So that is the glutton train. Oh,
sorry to interrupt. We do have a hype train going on in chat, so I do want to let everyone know. First of all, thank you to everyone who's supporting GDQ Hotfix with your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, and your bits. Your contributions do help keep our shows running. And if you're enjoying the stream, do consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and access to chat during replays. A hype train is the perfect opportunity to do that if you're so inclined. And you can also always support the stream by sharing the Games Done Quick channel with your friends. So if you want anyone, anyone who might like this type of content, go ahead and give them a share now, and maybe they can join the hype train too. But enough of that. Let's get back to the game. All
right. So as you saw, Miriam had spawned in, but since we are going it alone, Zangetsu only, we do not have her. So her big gimmick is that she jumps a bit higher, but that doesn't really matter in ultimate mode because Zangetsu also gets a double jump now. Because he starts with all those abilities where if you were to kill all the potential partners in the game. But she does have a slide as well. So we could slide under that, for instance, but we have to walk down the steps since we don't have that. So the current's going to push us back or forward. So this room is pretty difficult to do fast. Oh, geez. Talking and playing is hard, apparently. So luckily, the double jump did save us because I did get it eaten a bit. So now my charges are mistimed. But sometimes if you press R and... I don't remember exactly how it works, honestly. But if you do a normal jump, but then you press dash and then jump at the same time, it'll give you a dash jump for the second one, which is what saved me there. I'm gonna charge up. These bow and arrow guys are gonna shoot 3 times, but we can just easily jump over them. So that blue thing is called a potion. It actually gives us more weapon points, but since we need Miriam's slide, we can't actually get it as Zangetsu. And we are into the ice. Now this upcoming boss is, I believe it's Folklore. I don't know how to pronounce most of the names. He has 180 health, so we're going to try the same thing where we get multiple hits. Everything does 1 damage with him on casual. I think everything, except those icicles, I think they do 2. And then everything on veteran is +1 damage. Okay, as you saw, we got 2 or 3 hits there. And then we just want to go back and forth with it. All right, that was pretty quick. Usually, really fast fights don't let him go to the other side. So we're going to waste our weapon points. Okay. There is a little thing, if you slash as he comes to the right there, you can slash him in half, but I was too busy wasting weapon points.
We were talking about in the green room that all the bosses kind of have a desperation attack, but they can't really kill you on casual. But that was just kind of funny from my point of view, just watching him like ram himself into the wall at you.
Yeah, he rams himself into the wall at Zangetsu, and then just nothing happens. All right, so that was Alfred. He's the magician. He has a bunch of different like special attacks that you can get. There is actually a combo you can use with Miriam and Alfred. It's the big icicle plus the axe. So if you freeze a boss with it, and then you use the axe, it actually does double damage. So it would do 50 because the axe does 25. So it's actually really fast and actually a really cool strat to see if you watch a normal run. This guy's going to shoot infinitely.
We have a couple of people in chat asking about, this game and what it is, whether this is the original or prequel, what's going on here. We were talking about it a little earlier. It was a stretch goal for the Kickstarter for Ritual of the Night. And then this game was actually made in less than 6 months and debuted at a Japanese indie game festival. So, super, super quickly made by a team of Capcom veterans, some of which worked on Mega Man. But yeah, it was a stretch goal for the original Ritual of the Night if you've played that.
Yeah, this game usually goes on sale as well for like $4, I think. So if you haven't played it, this is a really fun game just to pick up and play for like an hour. All right, so this room, you have to dash through. You're gonna get hit twice. Oh, we got hit a third time. Okay, I'll just play it a bit safer. Oh, we actually got it. Okay, never mind. So we skipped the cycle there instead of waiting for the thing to go all the way down and back up. So that is a bit easier on casual, I will admit, because you don't have knockback. But it is still kind of hard to get the timing correct. Okay, this I'm going to play a bit safer because I died here. You have to like fall all the way down, then do like a jump backwards. All right, so this is Balfour? I don't remember.
Scrooge McDuck, I think.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's kind of hard to pronounce his name. Oh, I'm messing this up, though. So his big gimmick is these stacks of coins. Every coin you hit does 1 damage. But if you attack his head, it does double damage. So instead of doing 12 damage with the charge slash, it does 24. And then the ball and chain does 14.
So how would you die there? Because it seemed like the coin stacks weren't hurting you. So what was his attack there?
I think you get hit kind of by getting crushed by it if you like attack it too quickly. But he does have a phase where he sends out enemies, like golden enemies at you. I guess that's where most of the damage would come from.
You're just too fast for that nonsense.
You don't, even on veteran, you don't kill him slow enough to see that phase because he goes through 3 of those coin pushing stacks. Okay. Ladders are really weird in this game, or stairs. So sometimes I'll just jump right over them even though I'm holding upright.
I think stairs are universally a Castlevania runner's like least favorite thing.
Yeah, so this gets added onto it.
And Mega Man, it's ladders, right?
Yeah. All right. So stage 4, we can go to the right there with the other characters, but since we don't have it, oh boy. I meant to just do 1 jump, but then I hit A a second time. Oh well. I think I just started, so I only lose like 20 seconds maybe.
Hey, if these games were easy, they wouldn't be on the show.
Yeah. Right. Because I meant to charge slash here, then do that. Okay, so we want that item for this boss. So you use ball and chain for like every other boss, but that's the magic charms it's called. It's a little ball of energy that does 2 damage on impact, and then it'll do 3 or 4 damage for every tick it hits an enemy.
Now on screens like that where there's stairs down, do you have to physically take the stairs, and if you jump into the abyss you die, or could you kind of skip some of that?
Anytime there's like a bottomless pit, even if there is a screen below it, you die.
Okay.
If you fall. Which is kind of annoying, but I guess that's just part of the game.
Yeah, so a screen like
here,
this, yeah.
Yeah, a screen. If I were to fall, I would have died instead of just falling to the screen below. So you have to physically walk down the stairs. Oh,
And
I didn't even know there was a
it seems
block.
silly, but it makes like a huge difference in the routing as to whether or not you run over there and start walking down and all that stuff.
Yeah. Right, so I'm gonna charge up a slash here just to kill that red thing. So one weird thing is you can keep your charge when going up ladders, but when you can't go through door train. So I can keep my charge up here, But if I'm going through a door, I can't keep my charge for some reason. Oh, these frogs are gonna make me upset. I'll just do that. My health is pretty low. I think there's... Okay. Missing 1 health is fine. I don't know why I did that. Alright. This is Valik or Valik. I'm going to keep mispronouncing every boss's name. So his first phase, he has 2 heads. I know the bottom one has 70 health. I'm going to shoot this one. So as you see, the magic thing does its job. Okay, that was pretty good. Me jumping and when he opened his mouth, that did more damage. But then he has a second phase, which I don't know how much health. I tried to do research before the run for my notes. It didn't say how much health the first one had. But he does this fire attack, which does like 3 damage, so I'm just gonna... So I want to charge slash. I shouldn't get up there. Because fire hurts, apparently.
Go figure.
But I go back, and because I don't have knockback, that's the one thing that I think might be faster in casual, is that, well, other than not having knockback, is that you don't have to like constantly just stand still. You can either stand in his fire if you're at full health, or you can just go back and forth and try to get those multi-hits because of how large the hitbox of the slash is. All right, we are on to stage 5, which we are on a boat of some sort.
We're
gonna grab the demon essence, which increases all of our damage dealt by 1, but the ball and chain is not affected by that for some reason. So if I were to grab a ball and chain while it's active, I believe. I don't have time to look at my notes, so I'm not sure if I'm making this up or not. We can just ignore that dragon enemy, I guess. But the demon essence is very useful because normally these enemies take 2 hits. But since we get a +1 in damage dealt, they only die in 1. But now we're going to have to look for a ball and chain somewhere. Alright. So this mini boss, it's a painting that comes alive. And after a couple swoops, it'll actually... Oh, I didn't know you can do that.
Found a new skip.
I'm trying to hype it up as some like scary boss, because if it gets long enough in the fight, it'll capture you in the painting and it'll instant kill you.
But apparently you can just jump up and instantly kill it, so it's all good.
Yeah. Because the timing on that, because its hitbox isn't very big. Yeah, this guy's some Ninja Gaiden vibes to it. I would agree with that. It's not as hard as Ninja Gaiden, though. Alright, so we're coming up on sort of the final stretch. That big room is also dealt with with Demon Essence. There's a second and final... Well, final if you're playing normal mode. For the heart upgrade, there's actually a third one, or the first one if you're playing nightmare mode. But that mode, you start with the other 3 side characters. So you actually have the chance to do some skips in stage 1.
Chat talking about Ninja Gaiden. Don't forget, there's 2 Ninja Gaidens, including a retro-styled one coming out later this year. I think it's called Ragebound and then Ninja Gaiden 4. So it's a good year to be a ninja. 2025, year of the ninja.
All right. So this boss, I didn't catch his name because I was trying to go through the windy and rainy parts of the stage, but he's going to go back and forth either 2 or 3 times, so we got pretty lucky that he only did it twice. Then he can either just stand still and I'm having a tough time explaining this for some reason. His first attack, he can stand still and he can like charge at you, then come back and stand still. It's really easy. Or he can do that wind thing, which you're forced to duck. And ducking just forces you backwards still. It's just at a slower rate. All right, but now he's gone. Animal Crossing, but dangerous.
Who would not want to play something called Ninja Garden? I'd be here for it. I mean, you've already got the sickle. I think that's how the newest Mortal Kombat movie started, right? Scorpion was gardening with a sickle. So, like, I'm here for Ninja Garden if we want to make that happen. Any developers out there?
I'll only accept 50% royalties for my idea.
Licensing fees.
Money's tight these days. All right. So as you saw in the preview screen, we are now in the castle itself, which that doesn't really mean anything to me in terms of lore. I don't remember the lore of this game.
Yeah, somebody in chat said it was meant as a prequel, but it ended up being a side game that's not canon. So I've only played Ritual of the Night, so I have no idea where this fits in.
Yeah, so Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 might have been like where that came about is with the side game, because there's like all new characters and stuff. All right, so one fun thing about this is I've done it before, you can just jump from under platforms though, even if there is stairs. So instead of having to be stopped by not having Miriam slide, we just jump from under the platform and skip anyway. And in the start of the stage, I completely forgot until now, we picked up the Power Glove, which I don't know if that's copyrighted or not at this point, but that's what it's called in the game files. It gives us +1 to damage dealt. So now our sword does 5 damage, and then if we had the Demon Essence, it would do 6 damage. But we don't have any more use for the Demon Essence because the Ball and Chain is just that much more powerful than the other weapons. Oh boy. Let's not die again.
Somebody in chat said that Ninja Garden, after you plant and grow the plants, becomes Fruit Ninja. I'm loving where this is going.
The first GDQ sponsored video game.
Hey, there's game jams like every month of the year. Somebody out there wants a game jam Ninja Garden, copyright free, royalty free, go for it. All I want is all of us involved in the thought making process, we get a little tag in the credits. That's all we ask for. Just a little something. Yeah. Oh, I remember this, the blood thing.
Yeah, this is Bloodless. She has only 125 health, so it's not as much. But it's mostly because she's in the air most of the time, but since you have the double jump, the game doesn't really, I guess, expect you to...
Yeah, you're supposed to be hopping on the umbrellas, right?
Yeah. Alright, that still was kind of a slower fight, but... we've made it through.
Yeah, I remember this boss giving me a lot of trouble in the main game. Like there's a blood tornado or it rains blood or something. It's been a couple of years for me, but
that one does a lot of damage too. But luckily, with in the speedrun, you don't get to that phase. All right, I gotta sit up here for this because so in stage 7, there is a zip that looks easy because all you have to do is hold up, but it's a timing thing. But if I screw up the timing, I soft lock and then have to play the stage over again. So if I soft lock, I'll play through the stage normally. That's why the estimate is 35 minutes, because it has me potentially playing through the same stage 2 times in a row baked into it. All right. So
marathon luck is always kind to runners. I don't know what you're worried about.
That's not luck though, it's timing.
Okay.
And if I mess up the timing.
Oh no, it's all
maybe
luck.
It's the luck of it's the luck of if my brain is gonna let me press down on time. Alright. So we did pick up an armor there. So we take 1 less damage now from everything. But I guess that's kinda useless on a casual because you take like 1 damage from everything anyway, except certain bosses.
So if we were doing veteran, how much less health or wiggle room or whatever would you have?
You'd have a lot less because some things will do like 3 or 4 damage, I think. Like that fire thing, if you hit it, only does like 5 damage, I think, on casual, but it probably does a lot more on veteran. I haven't... You don't go through that guy on a veteran. If you're doing no out of bounds, you go through him, like just tank the damage. All right, so I'm gonna jump twice. There's gonna be a hidden ladder up here, and so he climbs the ladder, and we're gonna go into the room, and then I'm just holding up. So we're gonna go through it. He's gonna go through it, I guess, because I'm not really doing anything except holding up. So after here, we're gonna go. You're gonna see the screen change. Zangetsu's gonna go through the bottom. We're gonna go 1, 2. I might have been too early. Yeah, I was way too early. Okay. Oh well.
When you say there's a hidden ladder, do you think that's intentional or it's just there? Or?
I'm not sure if it's like an extension of the ladder we had went down, or if it's just the, or if it's really just a separate ladder that the game just forgot about.
I'm always curious how stuff like that ends up in games, or like how people find it even. Like I'm curious how people find that stuff. Like as a runner, I am not a very good glitch hunter. I try to do my best when I'm routing games and stuff, but I'm always fascinated when people find that stuff.
Yeah, I have no clue how to do that either, but I'll gladly learn it if people like to take the time to do it.
That'd be an interesting GDQ or Hotfix special. I know we used to have like how to train a speedrunner or something. It'd be interesting if there was just a seminar on like the process of glitch hunting and different things. I'm sure we have panels at SGDQ. Reminder, SGDQ is coming up in a couple weeks, so definitely be paying
it's 2 weeks
attention to
away
that.
Already.
It is. So I'm sure they have some content, but yeah, I always find that stuff fascinating.
All right, so we're gonna go through the. Right. Yeah, we can just run right through. That's the no out of bounds strat. It's just run right through them.
When we're talking about this zip, it seems like you go through like 30 screen transitions. How much time is it saving?
Yeah. I don't know exactly how much time, like specifically time-wise RTA it saves, but I know it skips about half the level. Because you get spawned in like 3 screens before the boss, or 3 or 4 screens. I'm tempted to grab that health, but I don't want to fall all the way back down. Alright, so we are going to play this a bit safer. You have to charge for axe or using the axe, but we don't have access to the axe. Oh boy.
Whew.
Yeah, don't do
You
that.
saved it. You saved it.
Yeah. Thanks to your double jump getting can still get the dash speed.
Now, how committed is your jump in this? Because obviously Castlevanias are famous for having, or some of them are famous for having committed jumps. Like once you push the button, that's it. You're going where you're going. How committed is it here?
It's pretty committed if you don't hold. Like you can. I can't really. Like if you kind of like do that. No, you can't. Okay. I just tested it because I actually wasn't sure because I know I mostly just play the category with double jump. So if you jump on normal mode where you don't have the double jump, you're going wherever the game wants you to go. Oops, I accidentally let go. Yeah, this is a really bad fight. Okay, I got a triple hit there. Let's see if I can still kill him in time. Okay.
Nice.
That was a really slow fight, but... Right, so we fell off immediately, because if we like did a dash off of that platform, then it would cause a lot of lag.
And do you actually need to stand up there and go through that animation and everything, the desperation attack, or could you just like stand on the floor and not really care?
I think with casual, I could just stand on the floor, but
muscle memory.
Pretend.
Yeah, you gotta keep it fresh.
And if I ever do play veteran, then yeah, I would need that muscle memory. All right, so this is the final stage. So we're gonna go all the way down here, and then once we get past those ladders, we hold upright. We have to hold upright the entire time because there's a weird property. I don't know why, but if you're going down, if you fall that way, but then you hold down left and just climb down the ladders normally or the stairs, it will kill you. No, I don't know why, but it will kill you if it does that. So luckily we have enough health to, and we don't have knockback, so we can just stand through those things. There's two different paths in this room, but only if you have Gebel, that's the not
Alucard.
Not Alucard, yeah, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So that big enemy, since the same thing with these enemies, which I actually missed it, but their hitboxes are so large that you can just 90% of the time get a double hit on them. Right, so we're gonna jump up this room. We have to jump off onto this platform. There is a, now I'm thinking about it, when you have Miriam, because she has the higher jump, you can actually jump with Miriam, then quickly switch to Zangetsu, and then do the double jump after she's at the peak of her jump because of character swaps. So you can do that room a lot faster because of that. All right, so now we are on to the final boss, Gremory. That room is actually kind of scary with all the frogs. It's more annoying than scary, actually, but I'd still rather not be hit by a bunch of bird-carrying frog, or frog-carrying birds. If it was bird-carrying frogs, I'd be a lot more concerned.
Try to picture like how that would work. I guess the frogs would bounce around with birds on their back or something.
Right. Because of how the crescent slash works, we can actually jump a certain way when she's in the air. And it'll get double hits. I'm missing my third hit a lot, though. Let me play this a bit safer. My health is a little sketchy. Okay, that was pretty slow, but
Are those patterns always the same?
Hits. Yeah, the patterns, I think it's random, like where the those big purple enemies spawn in. But the general patterns are always the same, where she spawns those orbs and then those purple enemies will come in. Now we are on to the second phase of Gremory, where luckily, because we have the double jump and charge slash, we can just stand off to the side here, double jump, and use our ball and chain, and just kind of go back and forth. I'm just gonna, just to avoid taking some damage.
They just like casually captured the moon.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, I ran out. Okay. So time is going to be when he's going to charge up, and then time, I'll just call it when it happens. And time.
Oh.
I actually wasn't really looking.
You got that, oh, what is it, Odin? What's the move? It's called like Zangetsu-kin or something. The Final Fantasy thing where they cut him in half. I think that's what that was referencing. It was super cool.
Yeah, I've never played Final Fantasy, so I wouldn't know. Wait, what was that, a 33? Yeah.
Yeah, about 33.
That's all right for me, having to play a stage twice, pretty much.
And as a reminder, of course, you only had a couple days to practice, and you stay ready. So I appreciate you taking joining us on short notice. I think you did amazing. I know Chad agrees because we've been seeing some good stuff in chat. But now, while we're watching this sweet little cutscene, if you want to take a moment, tell everyone where they can find you, anything you want them to know, any shout outs, anything like that. Now's a great time to do it.
Yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/propiece_. I don't usually speedrun this. I'm still wanting to get into Pokemon, but I haven't had the time to. But maybe after SGDQ. And then if for some reason you want to come see me at SGDQ, I'll be there all week wearing my Halo Runs merchandise or whatever. And then shout-outs to Strizer. I'll give a shout-out to Strizer. He's a very good runner. He's done this game at GDQ multiple times, and he's probably the reason I play this, because I probably watched him. I don't remember exactly where my love for speedrunning this game came about.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, it's always a pleasure. We've had SGDQ mentioned a few times, so before we go to break, I do want to tell everyone that you can get ready for Summer Games Done Quick 2025 by checking out our SGDQ ambassadors all throughout the month of June. Still got a week left on that. You can support Doctors Without Borders by joining each ambassador's community in the lead up to SGDQ. So use !SGDQ ambassadors to check out the full schedule there. Now, don't go anywhere. We have a very special run coming up after the break. It's going to be The Last Faith, so stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Basically, Bloodborne meets Castlevania, so a 2.5D Souls-like. Super fun, super challenging. It's going to be great. Let's go ahead and bring in our runner. How are you doing today? Oh, wait, it's me. Yeah, I'm going to be doing the run for y'all. We did, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, we had a runner who dropped out, was unfortunately unable to make it, so I'm going to be filling in. Now, before you get too worried, I was a runner long before I was a host. I've been on multiple marathons. I do have the record for this game, so I've been keeping this in my back pocket for just a special occasion like this. 2 days practice. I was hoping to have a little bit more than that, but we're gonna have some fun with this. And then thankfully, my producer Ray has agreed to be a commentator for this run. They know nothing about this game. They know nothing about any of this, but they're going to be here. We're going to have a lot of fun. Yeah, so how you doing today, Ray?
I'm doing all right. Had fun this weekend with Juneteenth. I have no idea what this game is, like you said. We'll find out as we go.
And for those of you who don't get to spend as much time with Ray, we have an amazing time in the green room. So I'm excited for you to get to know them a little bit better over the coming couple of hours. But we have tons of time to chat. So before we get started, the only thing you need to know is there are 4 classes here. There's strength, dexterity, faith, magic, whatever, and bullets. In this game, strength is overpowered. It basically beats everything. So that's what we're going to be going with. But other than that, I can give you a 3, 2, 1. It starts when the main character loads in. So we are going to go 3, 2, 1, start. And I do have my live split running, just if you see me reach over, because it has a bunch of notes. So as I said, 2D, Castlevania, Bloodborne type thing. This is clearly the hunter from Bloodborne, just kind of a knockoff, and we will be fighting some hunters later on. Invisible wall, we're gonna grab this fire paper. We're gonna use that for the first couple of bosses. Now, with this game, a lot of this is very much around micro spacing. Clearly, I do rolls and then I jump. We're gonna be doing that basically all game. Now, the pickup mantle animation, super slow, super annoying. So I'm going to be trying to time jumps as best I can to avoid that wherever possible. But for now, yeah, we're basically going to do this until we get to the first boss.
So what is it that makes strength overpowered? You just get like better moveset, you get better weapons?
So we do get the best weapon in the game early on. We also get better damage multipliers, and each stat corresponds to protecting you from a certain element or a certain type. Strength is just more helpful for the types of things that we deal with in the game, and it's just, more consistent and better. The game is not especially well balanced, I will say, unfortunately. So if you look at the, actually I can talk about this after the first boss. We're about to do the first boss. This is the only boss that's relatively scripted. So before we do that, we're gonna switch to our papers. And yeah, we're gonna fight this guy. He will jump around kind of randomly, but for now we're gonna do this. Just try to get him to hop to the middle, and there we go. That's my little special attack. I get one of those per bonfire, let's call it. Now, at this point in the game, he does not normally do 2 attacks. That was interesting. At this point of the game, I'm not really at much risk of dying, but later on, because we are doing a glass cannon build to obviously maximize DPS, almost everything in the second half of the game will one-shot me. So that'll be fun, and I gotta remember that I have live split running. So in the future, bosses have a selection of moves, and they pick from those moves relatively randomly. And so a big part of your time and choice and whether or not you even die is going to be tied to what moves they pick. Now that boss is, like I said, the main one that's scripted. Here I'm doing coyote time jumps to get me a little bit of extra distance so that I don't have to grab the ledge at any point. That saves about 10 seconds there. But what were we talking about? We're talking about stats. So when this game first came out, if you look at the leaderboards, you'll see there's a legacy category, and then we have what is, current patch, what I'm playing right now. And I'm going to try to, I missed it. If you roll at the right spot, you can skip some of that slow walk there. This is our level up lady, shrine maiden, whatever you want to call her. We're going to do basically nothing but strength for the first half of the game. But going back to the legacy boards, when this game first came out, it was a broken mess. It had bugs for days. You could double jump anytime you wanted. There was a bunch of stuff you could skip. People were beating the game in like 20 minutes. Oh, no, I didn't want to talk to him again.
Surely, if I were
we don't want lore.
Surely, if I were to...
Okay, sorry about that. And so the developers actually used, as far as I can tell, the speedrunning community to find all of the bugs, and then they just started patching the things that only speedrunners were doing. And so this most recent version has a lot of the fun stuff patched out and nerfed, so we actually have to play the game as intended for the most part. So this is normally, I think, an 18 to 20 hour game. We're going to do it in about 2. And if I'm lucky, nothing will one-shot me. But to the extent of my knowledge, I don't believe anyone has beaten this game deathless. So do expect a couple of deaths, but we'll do our best. And we're just going to be running through the next couple of areas until we get to the next set of bosses.
So what was that fire paper used on the first boss? I mean, you compared it to Bloodborne, but it looks like just a fire paper from Bloodborne.
This game is essentially, I mean, it's Temu Bloodborne. It just really is. If
Bloodborne at home?
Yeah, if Sony is not going to release a new one, you know, the indie scene is gonna take into account. One thing there, if you fall from too high of a distance, you will get kind of a superhero landing, which is slow. So a lot of my drops are distance managed to try to not do a superhero landing. These little floating explosion things are bugged. If they look like they're dead, they're not dead until the little souls come out of them. So if you try to make that jump, you will just instantly die. So it's I always take those very carefully. Okay, got that dodge.
So it's not even like the explosion hurting you, just their hitbox still exists
yeah,
until that's done?
Their hitbox stays for a while. And there's one later on in the game, like, okay. If you get the cycle, it's really tight, but if you get the cycle, you can skip this kill here. But there's one of those guys later on in the game who's just invisible half the time for no reason. And so you'll be jumping over this cliff and you just have to kind of guess, be like, okay, I think he's next to the other one, and then just YOLO it and hope for the best. So one of the reasons this game can be a little difficult, I have a few hundred runs on this game, but it is a little buggy in a couple of spots. And some of the bosses are actually designed where you will get hit almost, that's more fire paper, but you will get hit almost no matter where you are or what you do, and you're expected to just kind of tank it because, you know, you got tons of health and whatever. We don't have that option, so we're gonna do our best to try to dodge those. But there are sometimes situations where you're dead no matter what choice you made, and you just have to kind of deal with it. But thankfully, we don't lose too much time unless we die on the last boss, which is a huge time loss.
Even with the whole glass cannon, is that just because a long run back or what?
It's a short run back. The boss is like a 5-minute boss. It's crazy. So this run is kind of a little bit closer to like a BL4, like a low level run of Bloodborne. We do not do as much damage as I wish we would do. So coming after about 2/3 of the way through the game, it's gonna get a little spongy, but we'll be fine. It's a
so you go the build of like maximizing your damage in exchange for getting one shot so that you can kill the late game bosses in any reasonable amount of time, it sounds like?
Yes. I mean, speedruns are almost always glass cannon runs, just because, you know, they're speedruns. But the thing that's unfortunate with this is if you're familiar with Bloodborne, and of course, if you're a fan of the show, you know that it's one of my favorite games, and it was the first game I ever had on the show for good reason. I missed that. You know that a lot of the fights are actually semi-scripted, or, you know, they're difficult, don't get me wrong, but, like, they're not horrible. Because of the random move selection of the bosses, this is our upgrade guy. He's gonna go back to our mansion in the woods over there. But because of the semi-random nature of some of the bosses, you can lose a minute and a half, different places depending on what RNG moveset you get. That's Lisa. She's totally not gonna follow us throughout the entire game and be a boss later.
Totally no betrayals are going to happen in our future. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why a betrayal would happen in a Bloodborne-inspired universe.
Of course
Don't
not.
think about it.
Oh, I didn't talk about those little altars. Those are the bonfires. Dude, cooperate, please. So we skip about most of them. Because one, we're not going to need them. And two, they clutter up our menu when we're teleporting later. So I don't take that one unless I take a little bit too much damage in this section. Now, what we're trying to do is unlock this gate. There's 3 chains blocking it, spiky things. Now, this game is very much a maze. I've played a lot of Metroidvanias. I have had to, when I was running this, build out like an entire map and everything of where everything is. It's a super confusing game, or maybe I'm just bad at it. But you'll see we're skipping like a lot of where you can go. And there's side quests, there's optional bosses, there is a secret ending, just like in Bloodborne, where you can fight the moon presence equivalent. We're not doing any of that. We're skipping like 8 bosses. We are doing the any percent Hail to the King ending, which is basically we kill the big bad and then we take his place. You know, the classic Dark Souls Link the Shrine kind of thing. Yeah. So we're just gonna get the last of this chain and we're gonna circle back and go through that door. But thankfully we didn't take any damage, so I don't need to take that safety altar. This thing is interesting. If you're not very careful when you go into it, it can glitch out and it will actually go back up without you and you'll get stuck in the floor. So there's lots of little glitches, which if you don't run this game or play it a lot, you're not gonna know that I'm trying to actively avoid. And then some of this stuff, like I'm baiting these guys into attacking certain places. So if I'm running through the game and I'm making it look easy, that's fantastic. That's what we want to see. Later on, if you know I make a bad mistake or a misstep on some of my micro spacing, that's gonna probably be death. Here again, all strength, because who needs health? The only reason we get health later is there is a lot of environmental damage. There's going to be places that set you on fire just because. There's going to be places that freeze you to death just because. So we will get some health later on, but we don't need it quite yet. This is where we get introduced to some electricity. We're going to jump around, all of this fun stuff. If you touch these electrical things, it will give you a status ailment that is basically a run killer. Thankfully, I didn't touch that one long enough, but if I touched this one, it would have. And what it'll do is periodically freeze you constantly. That's true of most status ailments, actually. So if you get set on fire, you'll periodically just like get caught on fire and it'll mess up your movement. So we're gonna do our best throughout the game to not get hit with any of these status ailments. Should be fine on health. I'm gonna take this fight and just hope that nothing weird happens. But these guys can be a little interesting. Sometimes this guy doesn't like to get hit by the first hit. And whenever you see that animation there, that was it wants you to do an execution, but executions are super slow, so we're just gonna hit him again. That's actually kind of unlucky RNG of when you get that. And it's especially bad on a boss coming up, which is the gargoyles. You don't want to see those executions. Oh, that did not space correctly, but that's okay. So what this room is basically there's a lot of arena rooms throughout the game. So you can't run through, you have to kill the things. It's fun. We have strategies for most of them, as you can see, like I did the set. I don't know what it's called, the like jumping thing. We're gonna use the jumping thing later as a way to skip some parts of the game too. But for now, it's mostly an attack move.
Do you have, like, what kind of moveset do you have? Do you have, like, light, heavy, special?
Good question. We have one attack, and that is it. Let me get through these. So basically, I have press the square button until stuff dies. I have it's a 3-hit combo. It's different with every weapon, and then I have a special move which you can see with the blue bar in the top left. Obviously, red is my health, blue is my mana, and then the weird gray-looking thing is not really useful until about halfway through the game. But I have a 3-hit combo, and then I can also do an attack in the air like that. And that's pretty much my whole moveset. Now, fun quirk of this game, and you're gonna see it, you might see it here. When you're in one of these locked cutscenes, because you're opening a door or something, enemies can still hit you. That's right, the game, the game expects you to have killed all the enemies. So, you can totally be in that thing and the guy can run up behind you and like shoot a fireball on your back and there's nothing you can do about it. So obviously I'm gonna heal before, you know, some of those sections, but it does come up somewhat periodically. We've got our second boss. This second boss is all about juggling their position and trying to hit 2 for 1. If you know the gargoyle fight from Dark Souls, you already kind of know what we're doing. Nope. Okay, I want to set them on fire.
Blood at you?
Yes. I don't know if it was blood per se, but So in an ideal world, these would be flying next to each other. I'd be hitting both at the same time. This is super slow. This is not what I would have liked. But I'm trying to juggle the damage, and there we go.
How much control do you have over that, or is it just random if they behave?
It's so I tried to get, I do the hop at the beginning there to try to get the one on the left to do a dash attack towards the one on the right. If the right one then also walks towards me, they'll end up both in the middle. But after that, when they fly around or what attack they do is kind of random. So a lot of the bosses here will have random attacks that can affect your splits by plus or minus 1 minute. Like I said, the gargoyles are one of those, but thankfully it's only plus minus 30 seconds or so. This next boss is the big RNG boss. It's called Ridley. You know, I'm sure people can guess why he's Ridley in a Metroidvania. But he has a attack where he goes into the ground and he jumps on the ceiling and different things. Anytime a boss does stuff like that, it can dramatically affect how fast you do it. So we have no control over that. And occasionally he will bug in the floor and you can't finish the fight. That's only happened to me twice. So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen. Oh, misspaced that. And if I'm quiet during boss fights, you know, they are somewhat dangerous. So he's gonna have a 2-cycle fight here. First cycle, you know, super easy. We got the fire paper, not too worried. Oh, that's not what we wanted. This is something that wastes a little bit of time. Not too bad though. And now we have a second. So while he is transitioning, we're gonna come over here to bait him over here. And I'm gonna wait for the screen to re-up my fire paper. And right about here. And now when he's in the floor, I can't hit him. And if he touches me, he heals. So I definitely do not want to take damage. But he's gonna jump around and do some crazy stuff. And what pattern we get here is completely random, as far as I can tell. He can actually just do this move like 7 times in a row. And that's what he does in my world record. And it's just like, oh, that was nice of you. And then sometimes he'll just do this a bunch where you can't hit him. And then the worst one, we're gonna hope we don't see, but I'll point it out if it happens. All right, this is one you don't want to see, because he has super armor during this, and I have to dodge these things that are kind of flying around. So I'm just trying to do as much damage. Ooh, that hit me. Do as much damage as I can during that cycle. Stay on the ground. Oh, this is what we didn't want to see. This is just a full waste of time.
So what I'm hearing is that this is the storm equal of this game.
Yeah, it can be. So he's basically dead here. But yeah, a little bit on the slower side because he did that kind of desperation thing. And done. Huh. Strangely enough, I got a gold split on that. I don't know how that's possible. Interesting. Okay. We take golds. So that is, you know, our third boss. As you can see, we're saving up some of our money because we want to not buy stuff until we get the best weapon in the game, which is where we're headed to next.
Where is Lot?
This is kind of our little text dump. This is usually where I take some water, so excuse me.
Of what do you...
They are
You have...
Eric, the night.
And then after this, we get a new ability where we can drag blocks around. So this is going to let us open up some different pathways. It's Metroidvania. We're supposed to revisit areas and do that kind of stuff. We're not going to do any of that stuff, but what we are going to do is go grab our first upgrade material over here. And so this game is extremely delicately routed in terms of exactly what enemies we kill, how much money we get, what upgrade items we find. That is the first upgrade item. It's it's called Moon Silver for the strength weapons. It's, you know, whatever you want to call it, Titanite, I don't care. It's the thing, and we're going to be collecting those throughout the game. Now, as you saw,
the game about like consumables, like if you use a fire paper in a boss and you die, do you get it back or is it just gone?
Nope, just like Bloodborne, anything you use is gone forever. And so you may have noticed for the routing, we occasionally pick up healing injections, very much similar to the Bloodborne healing items. You do not get them back when you die or visit a bonfire, altar, or whatever. They're gone forever. So if you're having a bad time, you have to heal a bunch during a boss. you may not have enough for future bosses. There are some bosses where you have to just heal your way through some of their attacks. And so this is really routed carefully to make sure that we get enough healing items in enough places. But if I have, say, and I do have backup saves, I will say I do have backup saves, so if things go really south, we're going to be fine. But if for whatever reason you run out of heals or something, you're going to be farming them, and you know, just like Bloodborne. This is slightly faster than riding that thing down. And then we're going to fall into a little pit of despair over here. Oh no, I didn't know that was there. And then another little secret. This is Dark Tears powder, very much the same as the fire papers. It's just dark magic instead of fire. They all functionally operate the same way. There's only like 2 or 3 bosses with a special weakness, but otherwise it's pretty interchangeable, so we pick those up there. Now this is the spot where if you look at the legacy runs, and I think the console patch of this game actually still has this glitch, but you can do a glitched double jump. You're not supposed to get the double jump until basically right at the end of the game, but you can do a glitched version which lets you bypass a lot of what I'm about to do. So if you run the console version or you run the older versions, you won't have to do this. I'm a PC runner though, so I got this game on Steam. We're gonna do it the hard way. And of course, you know, if you know me, you know I don't really like skipping content if I can avoid it. You know, despite being a speedrunner, I know our whole thing is skipping content. I took that fall very carefully because, like I said, I'm trying to avoid that falling animation. So all of these jumps are very carefully planned, and you'll see that later where if I miss a jump, I literally die because everything in the screen will shoot me all at once, and it'll be hilarious. It'll happen at least.
You're in the recovery animation, you're just surrounded by enemies kind of thing?
Yeah, like if one of these platforms falls, for example, it messes up all the timing. And then, so this is actually kind of a difficult grab. If you miss that little electricity thing will screw with you. You'll see it later on where the environment will freeze you just by you being in the environment, and then there's like 7 enemies on screen all shooting at you, and it's like if your spacing is off, man, it's a bad time. But we're professionals here. We're not gonna see anything like that. Don't worry.
It sounds like a lot of these screens you're trying to operate on like fast cycles with the environmental effects.
Yep, so this one is actually the only cycle where I am intentionally going slow because I'm trying to bait that guy. He can jump around, you're gonna see in a second, he can jump to the left here. If he jumps to the left before I start moving that, he'll actually just block my ability to move it. So that's the only screen where we're in. It's not the only screen, there's a couple of places we go slow to go fast, but that's one of those things. Again, carefully managing my fall there so I don't take any weird animations. Those boxes contain souls, money. I think it's called Nycrux in this game. Like I said, they are carefully routed to make sure we always hit certain level up breakpoints for our weapons and different things. Again, I'm trying to get past this little boomerang guy who's... Oh, and if you don't roll, you don't end up on the ledge. So definitely need the coyote. Definitely need the coyote time there. This is another instance where we got to bait this out, because if you just jump right there, if you do what you think you should do, which is jump and then try to dodge it, he will blast you in the face and you will fly across the entire level. Like, it's not just like you fall down. It's like you get catapulted to like the other side of the face of the earth. It's hilarious when it happens, but it's not fun.
Not during a speed run, but I mean, that's good. Like with an animation like that, you want it to have some weight behind it. If it just kind of like did a little bit of damage and kept going, that'd be a little bit disappointing, you know?
Now this is the best weapon in the game. This is what we'll be using for the rest of the game once I go back to town to upgrade it. But for now, we don't want a menu, so we're gonna just leave it in our inventory. Why they put the best weapon in the game in like the second dungeon, I don't know, man. The devs were wilding when they made this one. Now, if you've been keeping
stat requirements or anything,
nope. maybe there are, and I just pump so much into strength that I don't know. But if you've been keeping track, there's all kinds of different winding paths. We're avoiding like 80% of this dungeon, but basically what we were trying to do is get those 2 blocks. This dude, I don't need to talk to him anymore. He's a side quest thing. Here we gotta go ahead and change to our best weapon and add our other things. And this is upgrade 2 times and 38 strength. Okay. I have all my breakpoints on my splits. This is the only marathon I've ever done with splits running, but I need to make sure if I don't get the breakpoints exactly, like it's not good. So I made sure that I've got all the math and everything written out. But so now we're at 38 strength. Like I said, all strength. This is like normally middle to late game levels of strength. You usually want to have like 50-ish towards the end of the game. Oh, this is totally not a boss arena in 5 minutes. Don't worry about this. Oh, and then now I have my new weapon. Its attack pattern is basically the same. Oh, that would have been bad. These spikes are, of course, instant death because, you know, spikes, video games. Now, what makes this sword so good is it has an incredibly long reach. So if you want to see it now, it's huge. It's slow. It's crazy slow, but it does massive damage. There's a 50% chance this guy will kill himself. He did not. Okay. I always look at that to see if he'll do it or not. Oh, I did that too slow.
So is this the best weapon just because like moveset and the reach, or is it has unusually high damage as well?
It's all of the above. So it's the main weapon. Every stat has a weapon or 2 that scales with it. So the axe that I start with scales with strength, and this sword scales with strength. And for various reasons, strength just has the best natural damage multiplier. When I did casual, I actually did dexterity, which is a sword. And this is a little puzzle. You're supposed to read the poem at the top and pick the answer based on what each statue is holding. We don't have time for that nonsense. We know the answer. But so every weapon scales with different stats, you know, very, very Souls-like. You can have a magic build, which I don't think is very good in this game, a dex build, and then a gun build. Gun, just like in Bloodborne, there is an option to have a gun. You can see in the top left, I actually have no bullets because, you know, I'm not picking any up. But you do have to have bullets for your gun, so I don't think it's speedrun viable, but I have not tried it. If anyone wants to take a try at that. Here we're doing a little puzzle thing. We got the 2 keys, and now we are going to find this guy. This guy is Edwin. He's got some lore stuff going on. It's fine. We're not going to worry about that. He's also the one that they show in a lot of the trailers and stuff. He's very cool looking. He is the first boss where there is an opportunity to die if I am not careful, because he does... Well, you'll see. He jumps into the air and he comes down, and you think there's an indication. I gotta watch out for that because that has weird splash damage. You think there's an indication of where he's gonna land, and 95% of the time you're right, and 5% of the time he just lands on you and kills you, and you just do it again. So hopefully, you know, no shenanigans here on Edwin, but giant skeleton bat thing, very angry. And we're just gonna slash him with our big fancy sword until he dies. And we're gonna dodge these, bait those. Okay, so now he's gonna jump up, and yep, like I said, hopefully we know where he's gonna land. But sometimes if you run to the corner, there's a non-zero chance he just lands in the corner right on top of you, and there's nowhere you could go. So we're gonna hope that nothing like that happens. We're gonna keep dodging. All right, definitely over there. Okay. And we're using darkness because you can see it adds like a little, he should land in the middle. He might land on me. Okay. So for people who watch the show, you're gonna know that I always encourage runners to do the YOLO dangerous strats. I wouldn't be much of a host if I didn't do that myself. So there was a chance that I didn't hit that breakpoint. And he just lands on top of me and kills me. But like, I wanted to be there so I could do the little extra. Oh, okay. I was a little worried there. I wanted to make sure that I could get that cool cinematic and everything. Oh, this is the attack you do not want to see. I might die here. I'm gonna hopefully not. But I have literally nowhere to go. So just heal. That's okay.
Fine. Health is a
Yeah.
resource.
Yeah. And did his AI bug? Like, what was that? Some of the AI will bug occasionally on some bosses, and that's easy. Edwin. Okay. So what you don't want to see is you don't want to see that big animation with that big long tornado thing. It costs like 20 seconds. It can also kill you if you are unfortunate where you're stuck in a spot you can't get out of it. Thankfully, I was able to dodge through it, but you don't want to see that one, and there's another attack you don't want to see. So in an ideal world, he just jumps, does his little slashy thing, jumps, does his little slashy thing, and we ignore everything else. We just got our little grapple. So you might remember we fell down a big pit earlier. Now we can get out of the big pit. Yay, Metroidvania stuff. But first, we're going to grab some things. So some more healing injections, just to make sure that we have enough for later stages. We only used, I think, 2 so far, so we're still in a good place. And then there's a little bit of money over here we want to make sure we get to. And then we're just going to head back towards where we fell down before. And thankfully, that's not too far away. And later on, we will get some other movement options, but this roll jump thing is going to be the thing for the foreseeable future. The reason I jump afterwards is you do get input locked to the animation if you don't do something after the roll. So if I do a roll and I don't jump, chances are I missed the input window or something like that. And now we're back here. Fun times. And now we're going to go through a swamp. And this area kind of sucks because if you spend too much time in the swamp water, you move slow. So we're gonna just kind of jump around like this. And there's slugs. If anyone doesn't like slugs, yeah, slugs.
It's not a poison swamp?
It is not a poison swamp yet.
So you can tell that it's not a Miyazaki game.
Yes. I'm actually, now that you bring it up, a little bit surprised it's not poison, but there are, like I said, 2 areas that have very terrible environmental stuff going on, and they probably figured out poison swamp, that's a step too far. Like, we're not gonna do that. No one will play our game. All this stuff in the background, those are dead bodies that became a tree or something. I don't know. It's one of the optional things. I didn't do it. Somebody at me in the comments. I don't know. This is a very important skip right here. Hopefully I time it right. And then we got to dodge this. And, oh, he got me. Okay. Shouldn't be a big deal. But if it had knocked me off the ledge, it would have been a bit of a problem. But that lets us, normally you're supposed to, hey, buddy. Normally you're supposed to run all the way to the left and then jump up and run all the way to the right and then run all the way to the left again. Obviously, we don't want to do anything like that, so we found a little skip there. I'm going to heal just for safety. Not for this part, because this part's not bad. But for the next part, there is, we deboost. Oh, really? We do deboost through some stuff in this next screen. I'm getting a little bit too liberal on the healing injections, but if I need to buy a couple, I'll buy a couple. We're not cheap over here in our Bloodborne Metroidvanias. If you're interested, right above us, the reason the screen is shaking, you can see it right there, is very much like the dragon on the bridge kind of thing. They're setting everything on fire. Now, this is a relatively decent-sized skip that is, I believe, pixel perfect, so it might take me a couple of tries to do this. It is, okay, motorcycle outside. Don't know if anybody heard that. But
Sounded like a weird eldritch scream for your microphone. I was like, what is that?
all right, this is, oh, nope. It's all gameplay. No, come on, baby. I gotta jump this guy every time. All right, that should be good. Nice. And that lets us, again, we're supposed to go all the way through the left, climb up, go all the way through the right middle, and then come up here. And this saves like literally a minute and a half. But it is pretty tight as to getting it. Now we see Lisa again. She's totally, just stalking us. But now, if you didn't know this game was based on Bloodborne, we're just gonna straight up fight the Bloodborne hunter now. So, yeah. But, so we do electricity here because if I can do enough damage fast enough, consistently enough, I can stun him with the status ailment. So we're gonna be hyper aggressive. Oh, buddy. And we're gonna try to switch. Oh, I thought I missed that. Okay. We're gonna try to switch him up a lot to mess with. Oh no! Come on. We're still okay.
Anti-air.
Yeah, that was some Smash Brothers stuff there. I am near death. Okay, I lost the. So normally we would want. Oh, there we go. I didn't think I was gonna get it. If you don't do it fast enough, the build-up doesn't last. Now, the interesting thing is if he's frozen when he dodges, like he was right there, I can't hit him even though he's frozen because his iframes persist. But, that was fine. That was a fine fight. It got a little dodgy there. The anti-air I was not expecting, I'm going to admit.
You hit some good footsies today.
So when this game first came out, the hunters actually had homing attacks. And so... if you jump in the air, they would literally just knock you out of the air for fun. And it was so frustrating and so broken, they eventually patched it. But the next hunter we're gonna see does still have his auto aim whip, which is extremely frustrating. This is I call it the House of Mirrors. I think it's called the Ersk Manor or something, but we're trying to pick up mirror pieces to, basically fix everything up. Now, we do not have nearly as much health at this point in the game as we would want, so we're gonna have a lot of tight spacing on some of this stuff. Good, I got the stagger there, that's good. For this puzzle, we need to kill these enemies based on, okay, I thought that would hit me. Based on where they appear in the mirror puzzle up above us, but we know the order. So this guy, we just we YOLO him and hope he doesn't hit. He hit us once. Still okay. You'll see that the purple stuff does impart a status ailment too. It is the worst status ailment in the game, so we're gonna be very careful on whether or not we get that. But what it does is something called Nightmare, which not only does damage over time, it inverts your controls. And when you have 1 or 2 hits worth of health, inverted controls is not something you're really interested in dealing with. Oh, no. This is not going well. Buddy. All right, we're gonna take this a little safer. So I missed the spacing. If you're curious what happened, I was not standing on that. I don't think. I missed the spacing on the weird skeleton guys, and so I wasn't able to kill them before bad stuff happened. We gotta watch out for this and jump. And 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to. It has a one hit. Oh, it has a 1-hit kill attack. And so we're just trying to not get hit by that. So that was slow and terrible, but that's okay. So now we have gotten the first mirror piece. We're gonna go back down to the main hallway, trying to dodge the little slugs. We actually, to preserve my healing items, I'm gonna take an intentional death. This one does not count in this not being a deathless run, to refill my health because there's a checkpoint at the start of every one of these things. So I'm just gonna let these little tentacle guys kill me. And this costs it literally is the same amount of time as the animation for healing myself. It's crazy. So we're just gonna do that. We're going down here because there is a secret upgrade blueprint thing. It's secret. It's totally in this side room and surrounded by books and a giant chest. But that's going to let us upgrade our sword just fine. These purple tentacle things all respawn. Super annoying. And then this room, we have a particular order that we fight these spawns in. So we do that, and then we want to end up over here because of the enemy that will spawn here next. So we sit here and we kill this. These little things down here, when they glow, they do a not fun command grab if we're gonna go back to Smash Brothers terms. And we don't want to deal with that. So we're gonna take care of these. And then alley-oop.
So I've noticed that you seem to favor the jump attack. Is that just like animation speed or like damage?
It's usually for closing the distance because and up. It's usually for closing the distance, and it does about the same amount of speed. So if I'm trying to bait out attacks, or I'm trying to get the enemy to attack one way while I cross over to the right way, or something like that, I usually try to. You'll often see me do it. It's also because I spent 95% of this game doing this roll jump thing, anyways. So it's like it's in my blood.
Yeah, I've just seen sometimes with the smaller enemies, it looks like you jump and attack to one-shot them instead of standing still.
No, it doesn't affect the damage breakpoints or anything, as far as I know. But I do it mostly to affect the distance or where I am, and it does help with the animations a little bit sometimes. And hop. This is a newer trick I'm gonna try to do. I may die. Oh, okay. That was not the trick. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, I'm trying to, I'll try it one more time. Like I said, I'm not much of a host if I tell everyone else to YOLO and I don't do it. There's also not that big of a pen. Oh! This is a huge deal if I die here. Okay. That is very bad. I just lost all my money.
Ooh.
I actually don't know what that means for the routing. Okay. I'm gonna have to think about that. That is not where we want to be. I'm gonna try.
How much did you lose?
I think like 40,000. Like I lost a lot of levels. Okay. So what we may have to end up doing is I do have a safety save later in the game. So some of the bosses will be a little slower to kill, and then I can do the safety save if that's what I need to do. I tell everyone to YOLO, I do it, and then I like borderline soft lock my game. Actually, no. I think I know something I can do. Hold on. If I restart the game, am I right? All right, I think I just have to do a chunk of the mansion again. And by a chunk, I think I mean I have to do all of the mansion again. But we have...
It's okay, we have extra space in the estimate for a reason.
Yes. Okay. So all I did was a room and a half.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we lost maybe 4 minutes there. This is why I say if you do something stupid, the game does not like it, and you get punished for it. That doesn't mean I'm not going to YOLO that firewall again. I'm totally going to YOLO the firewall again. I do not learn from my mistakes, and we're going to get it next time. Okay, I didn't get the stagger that time. Not a big deal. But you know what? We had to do a stage open on Curse of the Moon. I didn't want that run to feel left out, so we're gonna do it here too. All right, don't hit me, and hit me once. That's fine. If you get lucky and you stand there, you can actually just matrix dodge all of that and take no damage. I'm trying to think if I have any announcements memorized I can do while I do the run back. Don't forget that if you're interested in being more involved with the GDQ community and joining our Discord, you can always use !Discord in the GDQ Twitch chat to get an invite to our server and hang out with staff and assign yourself the Hotfix Enjoyer role to learn more about what games are coming up and what the schedule looks like. That was a little bit more how this room is supposed to look, by the way. come on. And run. There we go. That's the swipe we were dodging last time. That was a little bit more textbook. I just wanted to show it done the right way. Dude, my splits are screaming at me in bright red right now. They're like, what did you do? You haven't killed the next boss yet.
The Marathon Classic, when you're running splits, they're going to go brilliant red at some point.
I will always remember there was 1 gold on Ripley, and that's all I need. I had 1 gold.
Do you have rainbow splits on? Was it twinkling at you?
I do not have that on, no. I need to do that. I am not gonna take the death. I think I can do this without dying. Famous last words. We're gonna pick up the blueprint again. Apparently, I think the guy, if I remember the story, who owns this mansion is like a... Alright, I'll heal. Is like a weaponsmith or something. And so all the fancy weapons come from him and from the Eldritch gods because, of course, all these cities are in direct communication with evil Cthulhu gods. And the plot is basically the cities are in like an arms race or something, god v god. And bad stuff is happening. They're fighting over a lot of stuff. Come on, come at me. Yes, I can't believe that worked. I've never tried that, but that is going to be my default strategy now. Okay, that was dangerous. I need to be careful here. And okay, just fine. All right, that was a swag and a half on that move. Oh, come on. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing where we're gonna try to my purple meter, my dark meter, whatever it's called, is about halfway up. So we want to be okay. Got it. Be a little careful. Don't do it. I don't know if you saw it. It stutter stepped me. It went fast and then it went slow. That was wild. Okay. So we're right back basically where we are, or where we were before. I'm gonna hop down, go back to the last room. It looks like we probably lost 2 minutes. It's okay. I'm gonna play a little safe here because I don't wanna die. Oh no. I say that and then that happens. If I got hit one more time, you can see just vaguely that little purple circle on the top left. I would have gotten Nightmare and it would have been unfortunate, but we're okay. Because I'm gonna try the D-boost again, like I said, I am gonna YOLO because I would be a terrible host if I didn't do that. I'm gonna take the intentional death so I have full health, and then we're gonna go right through that firewall like we should have done the first time. So let's just pretend none of that ever happened, and we're gonna do this correctly.
What are you talking about? This is the first time we've seen this room.
And that's what it should have been.
Are there frames on that kind of thing? Like you take the hit and then use a grapple through?
So the grapple, at least on the fire, doesn't damage you, and then I try to kill those guys as I fall. This room is extremely dangerous. 1 second. Because I got a iframe, I roll through the little wormy things. This dude right here can hit you during this. Please don't, please don't. Okay. If he does, like there's a decent chance you just die. And sometimes when you die in a cutscene, you don't undie. The game just like the game's like, well, you shouldn't have been dead there. I don't know what happened. It just freezes. But you know, these are the things we have to do to go fast. So we take those risks. Oh, leave me alone. And these little worms are they're just annoying. They're the bane of my existence. And now there's 3 right here. Hopefully we don't land on them. Okay. And we're gonna fight another room. Hello. And the guy on the right's gonna shoot at me. Okay, that kind of javelin thing is a homing projectile. It is very not pleasant to deal with. And so when you ask about why I'm diving and stuff, it's because usually the enemies have something like that where I don't want to be in front of them anymore. And then we take this. Ooh, okay, just got the timing on that. I was really hoping that I would be able to kill him. So there is some variance in how much damage you do. You can critical strike and different things. So if you see like a bright yellow number pop up, that usually means I got a crit. So there, I was expecting the enemy to be dead, and you could probably tell he had like the tiniest, I don't even know if he had a sliver, but the tiniest sliver of health there. Now we're doing our next upgrade run, because we have the blueprint, so it's 5 moons and 42 strength. So first, we give the blueprint 5 moons and double, and then 42 strength. And then later on, I'm going to be checking how many heals and stuff I have. But you can see we got 500 souls to spare based on that breakpoint. I might have gotten a little bit extra because I died somewhere. I think it's usually 230 or something like that. We are going to the Ornstein and Smaugh of this game, the 2-on-1 boss fight. This one is very interesting in the sense that it is extremely buggy and extremely unsafe at times. If you want a world record attempt, you need to bug out Lena's AI, where she just stands still and doesn't fight you. But no one has been able to do it consistently, so we're just gonna do this fight the best we can. I want him to the left here. And we use this to iframe through her attack. She's gonna talk smash the whole time. Then we got this. So she's gonna do this 3 times. These are homing arrows, so if I'm not careful about where I am, and then she's gonna stay there. And okay, I was too close. And do that. Now we're gonna kill the big dude first. Hopefully we can stun lock him into oblivion if we're lucky. Oh. And now she's gonna get double strong. Oh, okay. We did not get the bug. So I'm gonna have to take some heals because she was not kind to me there. But okay, we're gonna do this while she jumps around forever, basically. You can duck under that, or you can get behind her and get a couple of swipes in. She hasn't given me the exploding arrows yet. There we go, which we want. I'm getting a little low on health. I'm gonna take this safe because we've already had one big time loss. We don't need another one refighting this lady. So, and then you stand right there so that when she does that, you can throw it right back at her. Obviously, big damage. If you do it too slow, as I think I did, I did not expect her to do it again. I wasn't ready, but that's fine. Ouch! That is a big red number on that split. So this is the section I think I mentioned in the green room, or maybe when we were live. I need to make sure that I buy the gloves. If I do not buy the gloves, it is very bad. So when we get back to town, yell gloves at me. I don't know. I have it written like in 4 places on my splits because there have been runs where I forget to buy the gloves. It's like a Metroidvania upgrade that lets you climb walls, and you can run like the next 10 minutes of the game, get to a wall where you need it, and then you just go, oh, I don't have the gloves. All right, so this is our new ability. We have an air dash. And now we're going back to town. And little did everyone know, there is a secret back entrance in the... How many heals do I have? Oh, I'm still fine. A secret back entrance to this mansion that will let us out the back door to a whole nother section of the game. And it took me a while to figure that out when I was playing casually. But now we're going to go to the icy tundra where everything is unpleasant. And this is so far, this has been the easy part of the game. This is the part of the game that usually doesn't cause too many problems. And then we're going to start getting, and we will have a break about the 1 hour, I want this, right? I did not want that. About the 1 hour, 1:15 mark, it'll be after the Burnt Apostle boss. So I believe we have 2 bosses until break. But everything after the break is all gonna be like horrible, miss a jump and you instantly die kind of stuff. So if you're watching now and you're enjoying this, definitely come back after the break and stick around because it's going to be fun. In my high-pitched, she's totally not lying voice. So now if you have played a couple of Castlevania games, you might be familiar with the nitro mechanic. These bombs, if I get touched by anything, environmental, enemies, whatnot, they will explode, and I have to carry them to these things. So there's going to be a few sections of this. Obviously, enemy AI plays a big role, especially this dude who loves to spit homing blood missiles at me. That's a sentence I didn't expect to say today, homing blood missiles. These are also on a timer, so bait that out. So if you go too slow, you'll miss it. And some of the later ones are like like half second, 1 second, like very tight timing windows. Hello, doggy. Whoop. And so this is gonna get more and more interesting, but this is introducing us to the mechanic. And we're just gonna, this is another section here. I'm gonna hit a switch. If I hit this, these little zombie skeleton knifey dudes could come over and slice me up.
Chat's telling me to remind you about gloves.
I already bought the gloves. Thank you, chat.
Okay.
Sorry, I bought them when we were in town. And I'll point out where the gloves are useful. Oh, yeah, that guy likes to shoot from off stage. But thank you. I definitely need to remember the gloves. Don't hit me. Okay.
I sounded panicked, so I wanted to cut in and make sure.
Okay. Maybe they know the game. Maybe they don't. Chat is here. Chat. We have a supportive chat. Chat wants to see things go well. Here, I'm gonna iframe 2 attacks. This is super precise. Okay. Those don't one-shot you, but they do hurt. Here we get introduced to a bunch of invisible enemies that scream a lot. So I'm playing this on headphones. I'm gonna hear a lot of screaming for the foreseeable future. But so obviously we know where they are. They can do 2 main attacks. They can do an ice laser that follows you, and they can do a banshee scream, which is kind of an area of effect attack where if you're nearby like that, it can hurt. And there's the ice scream, or the ice laser. More healing. We don't have, sadly, a altar over here. The other reason that it's really bad if you forget the gloves is there is no altar over here. So it's not like, oh, I just go backwards and I lose 30 seconds. It's no, you have to do it all again. We have a boss here. This is going to be another little, I say little, it's the big brother of the gargoyles we saw earlier. And jump. We have fire because naturally, you know, we're in an ice climate. If we hit him enough, just like with the gargoyles, we can, we can set him, don't do it, and hop over. We can set him on fire. I don't know if I will get it. It doesn't really matter if I do or don't. And don't hit me this time. Is it like a
stun, or is it like damage over time?
It's just damage over time. But we kill him fast enough, hopefully. There we go. That it's, you know, not as relevant as it was with the gargoyles. Believe it or not, that was a green split. So we do have all kinds. This is where if I don't have the gloves, my game is screwed because I can't climb on these things. This is super precise as well. So is this, and dodge that. Okay. Ooh. That's one of those ones, if any of that stuff hits you, you just die. It's not a fun time. But if you don't have the gloves, you get to that part and you're like, why can't I jump on this wall? And then you're like, oh, I forgot the gloves. And then it's a reset and no one is happy. Oh, I missed that. Okay. There we go. Now, when it comes to these icicle things on the, on the things, hold on. This is where the game starts to talk about how much it hates you. It's if you get stuck on any of those icicle things, you can get a debuff which freezes you, makes you super slow, and you're not going to get anywhere. We are now going down to the Burnt Apostle. This will be the last boss before the break. this section is super fun because if you stay in a room for too long, it will set you on fire. And there's also these, I don't know what they're called, if they're witches or what they are, but they spit these homing blood bubble. That is not the route I usually take. I usually go to the top route. I was like, wait, what is this? Okay. Maybe that route's actually slightly faster than going up. I don't know. But I was like, I don't think I've seen this part of the game before in a very long time. They spit these homing blood bubbles that have like huge knockback, and these little statues are what sets you on fire. You can see in the top left I have a little fire meter going up. This next room is one of the most precise in the game. Hopefully, first try. Let's see. Is it this room? Yeah, it's this room. Yeah, this room. So here are the blood bubbles. This is super tight in terms of... Oh! Alright, now I gotta wait it out and hopefully not get caught on fire. Don't catch me. Oh, okay. That's why I say it's super tight.
This looks rude.
Oh no, now I'm bleeding. Okay, I gotta go back to the save. So the thing about bleeding is it doesn't do damage over time, but if you do your dash like that, it does damage. Which means it's basically, especially at our health, unsurvivable. This is why I say if you miss a jump, this game hates you. So we're gonna try this again.
Oh, and of course everything respawned.
Right, I missed it again. So we're just gonna hang out over here. I'm gonna kill that. There we go. That's the slow way of doing it. I wish I could have showed you the pixel perfect way. But we get to do more of these blood bubbles. Whee! But as you can see, if one hits you, you're bleeding, and two, it has... Okay, buddy. Two, it has knockback, which is super rude. And now I'm on fire because that guy blew his flamethrower on me. That's okay, it's not a big deal. I may have to use a healing item, but mostly it's just annoying and slows us down. Hopefully I can make it back to the save without using a heal. I'm just watching my health very carefully. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna go for it. Oh! It gave me the stun animation like just the wrong time. And that gave that guy enough of a window to stab me. Thankfully, my money is right here, so you know, not the biggest deal. But
yeah, you were on your way back anyway.
Yeah. So when I said before, if I miss a micro spacing or something, it's not a good time. This is what I'm talking about. So here, we just run through this. We don't care. There's like secret items and stuff up there. We don't care about any of it. We are again trying to unlock a door. So we're just hitting all the little unlocks. That will take us to our fire boss. Yeah, she's actually one of the better designed bosses in my opinion because she has two phases. The first one is all the same moves as the second phase. So it like teaches you, okay, here's what she's gonna do, here's what her attacks look like. Again, we are dodging this little blood bubble. And then the second phase, she sets herself on fire and everything has huge blast radiuses. And you're like, okay, well, at least you warned me what this was gonna look like. I've tried to, oh, come on. I've tried to make this jump without using this block. I cannot find even like as far as possible a way to do that. So you can come back here. We're doing this in a certain route. You can come back here after you have the double jump and not do that. But you need what you get here. Okay. I didn't mean to grab the ledge, but we'll kill these guys while we're here. And down. And as you can see, there's a whole like area. Oh, okay. Gotta use the dash then. I missed the roll. There's a whole area to the left there. Again, we're just ignoring it. But now we've opened up the church of... I don't know what the religion is called. I'm sorry. It's a church of something. Again, we're getting some upgrade materials because okay. I thought he was gonna hit me a second that I stopped that thing, but we should be fine. I believe I can get through this without taking damage, so I'm gonna go for it. This lets us hold. Wait, what am I talking about? I think there's an altar right here, right? Oh no, there's not. I forgot. Boulder guy first. Yeah, that guy's just gonna be chucking boulders at us. We move fast enough that like he shouldn't hit us. Question mark. He doesn't as long as I don't miss any jumps. If I miss jumps though.
Sound very confident in this.
So I will. Oh, okay. I will say like this game 90% of the time will do what you expect it to. If you repeat the same steps and you do the same things. When you miss a jump, you do a ledge grab and you didn't want to do a ledge grab, stuff like that, then all bets are off. This game is extremely punishing, even casually. And so like I have everything spaced out, mapped out, timed out, but if those go off the wall, yeah, all bets are off at that point. At that point, it's just I'm fighting for my life, literally and figuratively. We are going to the next boss. This is another one of these pixel perfect. Please don't. Oh, thank God. I was not sure if that was going to, you know, be inside my hitbox when I mantled up. Okay, that was smoother than last time. And now we're going to the boss. Just in case, I will take that. And we gotta put on. We collected this earlier, so we'll put that on. And then this, like I said, she has two phases. She's going to be kind and show me her regular attacks first. So this is the one we want to see because we can stand right here. And then we do a little dash. Yes, I do have the ability to back step. That was not good. And then we dodge. Unlike the first time, and then we dodge. And then wait for that. And like I said, in the second phase, everything will be on fire, and all these attacks will be a little bigger and splashier. Whoop. And the music for this fight is great too. I don't know how much is getting through, but. And now we're going into phase 2. I'll take this a little safe. I'll use a heal. Where's the fire? Okay. Now the swing does pull me forward a little bit, so I have to be careful. Oh, this is the attack you don't want to see, because again, all it does is waste time. So you really would prefer she hadn't done that, especially to start the fight, but that's okay. All right, and this one. Okay, she's not really giving me the pattern that I would like. That's fine. I can still hit her while she does that. Okay, I didn't get the dodge, but that's fine. My health's good. She has not given me one fire flower yet. Come on. Oh no, I was okay. And the hitboxes are bigger than you think they are. That was unfortunate. We were one cycle away from killing her, but we'll run it again.
We will simply just not die this time.
Yes, we will simply get good, as the Souls community loves to say. Then I can just duck it. When she's on fire, you can no longer really duck it. It has a kind of area of attack. But we can speed up and duck it. One cool thing that's only useful in this fight is I can actually dodge downwards to dodge in place to duck that. But I may or may not end up having to, like that. And it looks super cool because I get a little shadow effect. But, all right. This time we will just not get hit by her gigantic attack radius. I was almost caught in no man's land there. Alright. I want to get back towards the center of the arena, so I use that opportunity to change the, to change the spacing of the fight. There we go. I knew you could do the fire flower. Oh, we got this again. You know what? We died once. I'm just going to use the heal and just be super safe about it. I say that and then I'm going to die again. Yeah, so these later bosses, the hitboxes on some of them are obscene. And if you look at the like Steam, okay, she's dead. If you look at the Steam like forums and stuff, there's a couple of bosses coming up where people are like rage quitting over how ridiculous the hitboxes are. They were like, who built this? Who designed it? Why does his hitbox cover 90% of the screen? Like, all right, so I'm going to do a quick shopping trip after this, and then we will go to a break. I was hoping to be here at about 110, or 102, but it looks like I'm at about 110, so it's fine. Here we get our devil trigger. That's what I'm going to call it, because I'm a big fan of Devil May Cry, so every now and then...
that gray meter is?
Yeah, so that's the gray meter. We can also use it for...
is just...
we can use the gray meter for parrying, so we do have a parry, it looks like that. But we only use it in one fight. So I only ever use the double trigger. It doesn't really have a combat purpose. It's mainly just because we move twice as fast and we get a cool teleport. Now, the problem with this is that if you use it or run across a stream transition with it, and this is important, I need to avoid, hopefully, not catch on fire. Don't catch on fire. Ooh. Don't catch on fire. I don't care about him so much as I care about not catching on fire. I'm gonna catch on fire. I already know. Oh. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna die, but the annoying like animation of me just like...
Why is it gonna like stun you? That's so annoying.
So all of the status effects stun you for whatever reason. So yeah, it's just painful. It's annoying. I don't like it. So we're gonna do a quick shopping trip here. I'm gonna upgrade. So what we just found in that chest was the blueprint to upgrade the sword. So I need to buy 3, upgrade, double upgrade, and then the rest is actually going to mix into vitality because we need a certain amount of health to survive the environment coming up here. So we're gonna put a little there. We're gonna 1545, and with this we're gonna do a quick short break. So I'm gonna stand over here. Actually, I'll go ahead and teleport to the next place. We were here earlier, but with that we can pause the split and the live timer and let you all know that we will be back in 5-ish minutes time. We like to give everyone a break, a chance to go grab some water, stretch, get some food, me to take a deep breath and pray for this next half. But like, yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to see how this ends especially if you've already been enjoying this, but it gets wild from here. So don't go anywhere. Everyone, welcome back to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. As always, my name is Cutie, and I am in the middle of a run of The Last Faith right now. For those just joining us, we did have a runner who was unable to make it. Thankfully, I happen to have this in my back pocket. Did not get nearly as much practice as I would like, and we are going into the second half of the game, which is just wild. Everything kills you, nothing likes you, you have no friends. It's gonna be fun. But if nothing else, I'm here to die for your amusement. So we are gonna go ahead and get on with the run. We can do a 3, 2, 1, go. And I'll restart my splits. I am running live splits just because my notes are there. In terms of where we are headed, I should also mention my producer Ray has been kind enough to step in as a commentator, but does not know this game, does not know what's going to happen. This is where we find out that the environment will freeze you to death if you stay outside. So we are going to do our best to not stay outside. And the dogs are not, friendly either. As mentioned earlier, you can get hit during cutscenes. So as I open some of these doors, there will be cutscenes, and some of the monsters will not be especially nice to me during them. So I will, if you see me randomly heal and it doesn't look like I need a heal, I am preparing to assume that, I did that jump just a little bit early before my dash, and there you can see I'm taking damage from the weather. And yep. Just ignore the ice beam. I'm intentionally jumping right into this so that I can get up this faster. And we're actually going to drop down and move this box. Super, super important that we do that now. That's a huge time save. And then we're going to... Ouch. Ouch, the weather sucks. It's terrible here. So what we're going to do now is we have another... Yep, you saw that ice beam following me. If you do not fall just right, they will blast you in midair and you will die. So we just picked up a key that's going to let us open a bunch of these doors. We have 5 fun little spiky barrier things that we are going to try to get rid of here. And again, I'm using the devil trigger primarily as a means to just bypass all of this unpleasantness. And and hi, ice beam. And so here we have to be careful. If we don't get in this door just right, that thing will come out, teleport out, and one-shot us. At least I think it's a one-shot at this stage in the game. So we just gotta keep moving very quickly on some of these things. Now this level is an incredible maze. It can take you 5-10 hours to figure out where to go, how to unlock stuff. Obviously, we know where we're going, but there is a whole lot to this game being a Metroidvania. There's secrets to find, there's weapons, there's items, there's all kinds of stuff we're bypassing. But the whole point is you're supposed to navigate this like winter village where everything hates you, and then eventually find your way back to that gate to continue with the game. We have to be, I was gonna say we gotta be real careful. Okay, it landed there. This one in particular, this guy likes to jump on me during the cutscene, so I kill him the same time I kill the gate. Hopefully he died. Did he die? Yes, he died. Okay. If he doesn't die, he will take off half my health. Never fun. Was one ladder rung too low there. These things can home down. Especially the icicles, they're gonna shoot one at me here during the cutscene. Please don't hit me. I'm watching my health bar in the top left. And okay. And now we're going back. You may recall that I said, remember this block, it's super important. That's why we need it. We have to bait out those wolves, otherwise you cannot get through that quickly enough. As you could see, that was unfun. Everything was hurting me. But we're gonna move on. These guys like to jump around. And hopefully no one will hit me during this cutscene. But so if you see me healing because I have less than half health, there it is, you saw the health go down. It's because stuff like that happens and you don't want to die, obviously. And then you always have to have enough health to be able to survive the wintry elements and any kind of nonsense that might happen. And don't hit me, thank you. So, as I said before, all of this stuff... I did not mean to swipe that. It just is a little slow. I usually tank that hit. But when I say things are precise and if you mess up, you die, it's because stuff like that. I killed this guy because he can bug out the game. If you try to go through the door and he attacks you, it can be bad. So I just take the extra second to kill him. And this is, I believe, the last one. Yep. That's going to take us to our next Bloodborne hunter. Oh, come on. Oh, All right, so any game developers watching this, do not let monsters free roam during your cutscenes. Please. And there's that ice laser chasing me again. Now this, we talked about them earlier. This hunter has a whip because, of course, Castlevania, whatever. This whip can auto attack and home in on you. So if you're in the air, if you're trying to dodge it, he's not going to be very nice about it. So we're going to try to cross him up so he doesn't know which way to attack. This one will not freeze. Okay, I'm going to let them do their thing. We don't want them in that corner, because it becomes a lot harder to cross them up if they are in this corner. But this one will not freeze like the other one did. And when they're doing that, there's really just not much you can do. And that whip combo will kill me if I let it do that. Do the whole thing. So, oh, I thought I dodged that. That was almost a tight. Okay, you know what? Oh, stop following me. Okay. Sometimes you think the safest thing would be to heal, right? And then sometimes, because of the range on these enemies, and they do input. There we go. They do input read you, so they do know if you're going for a heal. Like as soon as you press heal, they will charge at you. So sometimes you think, oh, it's fine, I'll just go heal. That is often in Bloodborne fashion, of course, not the safest thing to do. But that was actually not bad. We actually made up a little bit of time on that section of the Ice Village, so all good there. And now we are moving on to a palace that is, if you haven't rage quit by now, you will rage quit at this palace. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully I can do it all smoothly. This is a little secret door, not so secret, it's the only thing you can click on, but it's there. If you go all the way to the right, the palace is just kind of blocked off. It's like, where do I go now? Oh, this way. Back to Devil Trigger to just... It's not deboosting if you don't get hit. I don't know what it is, but... So naturally, you can also see... I gotta kill this guy. You can also see there's little, like, ice boxes. Those are the same as red crates. They're just ice explosions for reasons. I don't know, physics. And so naturally, you don't want to get hit by any of that. And naturally, we're going to be trying to... no. Naturally, we're going to be trying to go fast through this, but we don't want to get hit by too many of these ice blasts either. And then we go up here. It's super important you don't miss that jump, because if you fall down on that one ice thing there, you will be locked into an icy grave. Like, it will just sit there and you won't be able to get out of it. So it'll just hit you and hit you and hit you and hit you. And it takes like, oh, missed it. It takes like 5 to 8 hits or something, depending on your vitality. But you just have to more or less sit there and watch it slowly kill you. It's an interesting way to die. Not my favorite. But now we go over here. We're introduced to these big dudes. We're inside the palace now. This is where one of the blood Cthulhu god worshipping families is. And this is where we're going to finally hang out with Lisa, who's been following us all game like a creepy little stalker. But we're going to finally say hi and tell her our name and all of that stuff. First, we're going to go over here and go to this altar. This, in 2 rooms will be the most technical room in the game, I think. I'm gonna YOLO it. I promised I would YOLO everything. Otherwise, what kind of host am I? But if I get slapped with a whip through the side of a wall, yeah, stuff happens. First, we're gonna say hi to this guy. Hello. And then dodge. And then keep moving this. So this is where I mentioned that later in the game, some of these bomb carrying things where if you get hit, the bomb explodes, but it's also on a timer. This is where they become incredibly precise while all the rooms are filled with obstacles and stuff. So we're going to try to do this the right way. Let's hope that it goes well. That's not how I wanted that to start. And so this is going to be super precise. Let's try. And got it. Okay. Oh, did I get it? Did I did I run out of time there, missing that jump? Please no, please no, please no. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Fully as intended. But as you can see, those things whip. They have homing whips, so they will actually go like right directly at you. And obviously, this is all fun stuff we're just gonna jump through. But if you don't space everything perfect, the bomb will get hit and you won't be able to make it. And that bomb has about a 1 second, 1.5 second timer, even if you do everything perfectly. We're gonna walk to the right, dodge that. And so like I said before, everything is very carefully spaced. That was not the very carefully spacing. But if you don't do everything right, the teleporty guy gets you, and that's not fun.
So Optimist in chat is asking you, what's the second best class besides Strength?
It's probably, my guess, I've only ever done Strength, but I did my casual with Dex, which is just a sword build. I know that they buffed that at one point in time. Gotta take care of these two guys. I do not believe, based on how this game is designed and based on how things work, that you want to be running a magic or a bullet build. I mean, maybe they're fun if you want to go for that. I have a feeling that they would probably, please don't do it, would probably not be that pleasant. So naturally, if you're trying to go for world records in a game like this, you need to do all these like crazy, everything super precise, whatever, like I'm trying to do. This is not how you should play the game if you are doing this casually, but like everything is like really tight here. Hopefully I spaced that. Okay, perfect. If I hit both of those things, it will set off the bomb. So I'm trying to just land right on that edge. That key lets me go, just like the key in the village, lets me go into a bunch of fun places. Rather than barriers, for this, we are, okay. We are trying to, buddy, we are trying to light signal fires that will open up the, you know what, safety. Safety first, people. That will open up the way to the boss room. So, you know, classic Metroidvania lock and key style. I am going to deboost through all of this because, you know, speed. And we're gonna hope that everything cooperates and not so bad. And now we're going to, you know what, safety, people. When in doubt, safety. And obviously these little spiky things, you've seen them you've seen them before. They will explode, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't pick up too much ice. If you get hit with the ice status effect, you're essentially just dead. We haven't picked up any items to deal with it or anything like that. I'm gonna get mana here for the fight. And I don't normally pick these up, but we've been using a lot of heals, so I'll grab some extra heals. This is, as you may remember, we had a big fight with a big gargoyle. He jumped around, he was not our friend. Now we're gonna fight two of them, because yes. But first, invisible enemies, yes! Everyone loves your fan favorite invisible enemies, and the dude that you can't reach who's way up there for whatever reason. Now we got these. And flip, I missed the flip. But at least one of them died. And then we take out this one. Now, the hitbox on that dash is much, much bigger than it looks, which is why I'm taking it very carefully. But that was, you know, honestly not that bad. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to do this. Now, I always have a Okay, a tinge of fear there, because when you cross a screen transition in that form, you can actually fall through the floor. And that used to be used as a glitch to bypass a couple of boss fights or some sections. But it's just, I have not found a way post-patch to use it in a fun or meaningful way. Here we fall down. Oh, I was not supposed to land there. And, you know, classic, this is actually called the clock tower, but, you know, classic Castlevania clock tower maze thing. We're going to boost through all of this because this area is awful and just all terrible. So, yeah, we're just going to do that. Where you use the demon form, you only get it by doing a bunch of attacks or by resting. Please don't. Okay. It does have a whip that can hit you in the air there. We're gonna try to first try this. This is super precise. Oh, come on. This is super precise. So let's see what we get here. Lots of obstacles. Okay. Only hit me once. That's fine. And dodge. It could have been cleaner. It definitely could have been cleaner, but we first tried it, and that's all that matters. What was I saying? Dodge that. Okay. I think this is heals. That is not heals. We don't want that. That is garbage. Okay, we have to get, I shouldn't have healed here. I shouldn't have stopped here. There's 2 teleporting people in the upper level, and you can see them. Okay, I got out fast enough. If you are playing this game casually and you're not aware that those 2 things are hanging out there, they will both teleport at the same time and both just like trash compactor you from each side. And it's hilarious the first time it happens, but you know, we don't want to see that. We've got 2 more signal filers, I think. So this one is, again, we're going to bypass all. All right, I actually need more health, so I'm just going to go heal again. We'll pretend that guy cooperated, and we'll do it again. Don't do it. Oh! All right, you know what? We're going to go anyways. And deboost, and we're fine. I don't think this is heals either. No, it is heals. Okay, that's some good stuff. Now, this, I know I'm using an ice buff on ice enemies. It doesn't really matter. They don't have like an elemental strength kind of thing. It's just for the bonus damage. I'm gonna try to bait this guy to come over here. He doesn't want to do it. So I'm just gonna do that. I was hoping I could get them both in the middle and do that to both of them. Didn't work out. And then you can see we have 1 more fire. Now, after this is the fight that's gonna make most people rage quit the game if they've made it this far. One of the bosses is just, you have to fight 2 bosses back to back, and one of the bosses hopefully will maybe be okay for me, but one of the bosses is, I fought him like 400 times now because he was such a pain to figure out. So hopefully it's all good, but we need some vitality to help deal with some of its nonsense. And we're gonna go meet our friend Lisa and her giant pet abomination. Wait, why did I just teleport back to where I am? To the clock tower. Sorry, I am very caffeinated today. Hopefully that is fun. We do a quick screen transition to make the elevator not have to slowly come all the way down. And we're gonna light the last signal flare, which is back in this room, you may remember. Now, fun thing, a guy just teleported. If we don't wait for him here, he will kill us when we light the fire during this cutscene. So if I don't do that little jump, it's just a death. It's not a fun death, it's just a death. And we get to do it again. Now we run to the boss arena. Oh! And there I fell through the floor. Okay. I would say that has never happened before, but it definitely happens. It is not a big deal. I'm on this save. So we just go back here and we just light that fire again. I do not know what triggers that. I haven't figured it out. And like I said, I have not found a positive benefit to doing that. I'm sure that, like I said earlier in the show, I am not a glitch hunter. That is not my bag. I'm sure somebody could find a good thing to do. I'm going to be a little bit more careful with that this time. We're going to dodge the teleport again. And I'm just not going to... I'm not going to do the devil trigger teleport near the edge of the screen this time. And he's going to teleport again and try to chase me down. Hey, buddy, I'm too fast. All right, and then we're just going to... Yeah, we're just going to end. We're not going to try to teleport through. Dodge this. And now we get to go to my 2 least favorite bosses in the game. The thing about Lisa is she is exactly like all the other hunters, except she has unlimited ability to heal, and she has a gun attack that is super unpleasant, and she has a pretty big hitbox. We're just gonna hope that this goes okay. And we're gonna, okay, just keep shooting me. Again, I'm using darkness to get that little extra, that 1 damage. Come on. And you see how I healed there, and she ran right after me. So occasionally, I will use the heals as a way to bait her closer to me, especially if I'm... All right, we're both gonna do it. No, you're not gonna anti-air me twice. I fell for that trick once. So this is probably the hardest fight in the game just because she has a very difficult, as you can see, moveset. And if you don't kill her fast enough, she can like just keep healing. And then she gets a fire sword because, you know, he doesn't get a second phase. And that red light every now and then that you see is her trying to parry me. So she can actually parry me. And I'm just trying to cross her up here. And now she's trying to run away. Oh! I don't even think I attacked. No. All right, if I got, nope. Leave me alone. Play nice. Sometimes, if you're really lucky, you can break her AI where she will just run away indefinitely. But as you can, I tried to get out of that. As you can tell, she loves to heal, and it's basically a war of attrition. Now, the next fight is also a very hard fight, and if you do this and you don't have enough heals left over, it can be very unpleasant. And you can lose a lot of time. She's almost dead. Please do not do something ridiculous. Thank you. I wouldn't call that fast. It wasn't slow, but I wouldn't call it fast. Check my heals. Okay, we're gonna add this so that I have a second. What is my health in? Okay, so I have a second set of heals. Hopefully, and then we do darkness. Hopefully this will go smoothly. But like I said, this guy has some obscene hitboxes. So I'm gonna be trying to focus up here a little bit. His second phase in particular is pretty problematic. But yeah, big boss, big scary boss. Well, let's see how this goes. Yeah, the thing that really is hard on this boss that messes with people is, one, all that blood stuff hurts, which is why we have some vitality. But the whole game teaches you, if you roll, you have iframes, roll through everything. This boss, if you roll, you die. So this boss really wants you to jump a lot of the attacks, and getting that muscle memory out of your system is just like extremely difficult for a lot of people, myself included.
The huge hitbox of this sword seems useful as well, because you can attack the boss and take out those blood bubbles at the same time.
Yep, it's definitely useful for that. Ooh, okay, that was close. And now as you can see, every time he jumps, he knocks down chandeliers. So whenever you think you're safe, if you run away or something, you're not safe. You can't heal. Thankfully, we haven't taken any damage yet, I say, and then we immediately take damage. but we're gonna dodge this. He's now going into his second phase where he is gonna, oh no, no, no. Okay. So that one, he reads your inputs and he lands where you're going, which is also unpleasant. Now all of his attacks have a little shadow friend. Okay. Now you have to dodge that. We're gonna play it safe. Safe being a relative term. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little quiet, I think. You gotta dodge the little ghost guy. So it's all the same attacks as, oh, that was unexpected. He usually goes to the right side. All the same attacks plus the ghost. So if you, ooh, that was close. If you are not careful, the little ghost guy will get you. I'm gonna save just to be safe. Or not save. Oh, hey, he was off screen. Oh, this is bad. Okay. I thought he was gonna land on the left side, in which case I was dead. But we had enough space. And then the music for this is also pretty epic. So far, oh, he's doing that again. Okay, we gotta dodge this the old-fashioned way. These do a lot of damage, as you just saw, which is why we have some vitality. Oh, no, no. Okay, and jump. This is gonna be close. That's not the attack I wanted to see. Oh, I panicked and I hit the pause menu. So close. All right. It's okay. We're still good. We're still good on time. And now we're gonna have more heals because, you know, we're fine. We're gonna do all that again, except hopefully not put ourselves in a bad spot.
It was close, and like we said
close.
earlier, you'll just not die this time.
Yeah, I'll just do it right.
Give Cutie your energy, chat.
Yes, spam emotes for me. Do something. We'll do whatever feels right. So I'm also trying to watch the particle effects on the floor and stuff because it's not only the little circles, like you would think it's just the circles, it's actually the little splash fountains and everything. So what hits you and what doesn't hit you is, especially as a casual runner, not super clear, which is what makes people rage quit when they fight this guy. Yeah, we'll run away from those. First phase, not too worried about, as I say as I get hit. Second phase, though, you can get locked into some bad positions because of the ghost combined with where he's jumping, and that's kind of what happened there. I got last fight, I got locked in the corner, and that's totally a skill issue. I could have gone out of that if I was paying better attention, but sometimes that stuff happens. And then he's gonna transition. Yep.
It's also tough playing live, and a reminder for chat that Cutie kind of stepped up because we had an issue with scheduling and didn't have a lot of time to practice, so it's impressive that you're doing this well.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Totally not a paid-for sponsor or trying to be nice. Oh, don't do it.
I'll take my payment in sweets later. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was really close. I got into... So you can see there's certain sections where what segments of the screen are safe is always being transitioned. Now the bright side is after this boss is mostly, I don't want to curse it, but mostly, oh, we gotta run. Mostly smoother sailing. This is by far the worst part. And we gotta do this again. Run! And, oh, okay. And then where are you coming? Okay. I'm not going to take the risk of healing. I think I'm just going to have to go... This is one of those situations where healing will probably get me killed. So I'm just going to have to go for it. And that was one of those situations that I did not want to see, where I was kind of screwed no matter what, but this is why we upped some of our vitality, and okay. All right. Now, the next boss that we find is actually, so lore-wise, and this is where we get the double jump, but lore-wise, the next boss we fight is what we become if we don't kill the big bad evil god. We become one of these gargoyle nightmare things. And I actually came up with a new strategy yesterday where I turned the fight basically into Sekiro, and I do a whole lot of parries. It is extremely dangerous, but like I said, I will YOLO everything at least once. So we're gonna try it. It's worked when I did it in practice, all the 2 times that I did it. So yeah, it should be all right. All right, we are going to. This is 2 Moon. Yeah, 2 Moon. I can't, for whatever reason, my split cut off the note, but this is, I'm pretty sure, 2 Moon. Yeah. And then we have 3 bosses left, and the last boss is long. It's long. 49. That's right. So when we get there, I will warn you, the last boss definitely needs a flash warning or whatever on it. It is, they made a particle effect and they wanted their money's worth out of it. There will be nothing but red lasers and flashes for about 3 minutes. But we're not there yet. So this is an area, if you recognize or have been following our Metroidvania map, this is an area you can actually go very early in the game, but you don't have the tools to do what you need to do over here. So you can get over here and you're like, oh, cool, this is the next area to go. And then it's just like a dead end at a wall, and you're like, what do I do? And then you open up the Wikipedia and you're like, oh yeah, there's that door, 5 miles away that I forgot to open because of that one thing I got. That's totally how this game works, by the way. But yeah, we are heading into the last area. And so we are now going to be on the top of the castle. We are at the point in the game where almost everything can and or will one-shot me. So keep that in mind. And this is where, if you did come up here, this is where I mentioned earlier, there can be a floating blood guy that can be invisible. Is in the next one. If you see 2, if we get to the next part, don't do it. If we get to the next part, when I'm jumping these and you see a pack of 2, that's good. We want to see a pack of 2. If we don't see a pack of 2, there's an invisible one floating in the air, and we're just gonna have to hope for the best. So this section right here is pretty hard. Oh goodness. Okay, we survived somehow. I think the little skeleton guy actually knocked me out of the other thing. So in classic Castlevania style, you can get juggled. You are not iframed. So if one guy hits you, all of them can hit you. And as you saw, there was about 4 things there trying to kill me. So back to our demon mode here. I'm not gonna teleport because we saw how that goes. I'm just going to take the clean transition. Now this is another big fight, so I'm gonna put that on. And like I said, this doesn't make sense. These are all ice enemies. They attack with ice, whatever. But I do bonus damage with ice, so we're gonna do that. I'm jumping here to dodge kind of their jumps. These things are super annoying. So we try to group them up. I tried to dodge their attack there. And now we got one more here. And look, it's the gargoyles again, our old BFFs. They were really, I feel like when they were, I think this might have been a Kickstarter, but I feel like when they were demoing the game or whatever, they were like, we made these really cool gargoyles with this really cool AI, and we put all this work into it, and now they're like, oh, I guess we should just put them everywhere. Okay, there's 2 of them. So that one on the right can just be like, not there. And then you just gotta take your best guess and just cross your fingers. But he was there, so we're all good there.
It was a Kickstarter.
Oh, there we go. Google's your friend. So we're playing, this is Kickstarter Castlevania Day. I'm gonna jump over this. We are on our way to the next Sekiro boss fight, that I'll call it, and we will see how my new strategy holds up. This is pretty tight timing on the demon transition here, because there's a lot of stuff in the... I'm not going to take the teleport, so this is actually... I'm going to miss the timing, because I did not want to risk falling through the floor again. This guy can hit me. Is he is not. Okay. I'm not done. I can still get hit in this. I don't know if that hit me or not. I think I'm good. It matters because I don't want to heal before the boss fight. Okay, did not hit me. Nice. All right, we are going to, as promised, YOLO Sekiro fight this guy. He's gonna talk smack in like a big, deep, gravelly voice the entire time. You know, good for you, buddy. But I'm gonna do my best to parry everything. And we'll see how we do. Hello, big boy. He's very angry. So that's what I become if I don't kill the evil god. Parry one. So if I don't parry, he does a 3-attack combo that also has a homing attack on it, and it one-shots you. So eventually I decided I think the parrying might be safer, then I try to parry that, than trying to dodge the homing attack like 30 times. This is the part of the game where I said they become kind of spongy because I am vastly underleveled for what's going on here. And there we go. I'm keeping an eye on how much parry juice, mana, whatever I have in the top left there. Because if I try to parry and I don't have enough, obviously not a good time. I was trying to dodge his attack, but then I stun locked him at a good time. All right, here's his phase transition where everything becomes more painful. And his attacks, if I were to let him make his attacks would come out 2 to 3 times faster. But because I'm doing this parry strat, he hopefully will not get a chance to combo me. I'm gonna save my parry juice by just, there's gotta be a better term than parry juice, but I'm gonna save it so to make sure I have enough. I don't know what I'm ripping into his face and doing. I don't know if I'm taking an eyeball, like I can't answer that, but... And when he gets off screen like this, the animations for when to parry can be kind of hard to see. And I think we're okay. Oh no, I was hoping I would get another animation. Oh, I really thought I would. Okay, there it is. I really thought I would have hit that faster. All right, not bad. And that was a gold split because that's a new strategy. So we just saved a lot of time there. That's nice. And now we're gonna go say hi to our old friend Lena. You might remember her, not to be confused with Lisa, who we totally killed / didn't kill last time. But the bow lady, the evil bow lady, she's gonna talk some smack too with her giant bow. This will hopefully be smooth. We will see. I have died to it before because her attacks can home, and she's a little bit more aggressive. I missed it. I was trying to grab that. She can be a little bit more aggressive, so I'm trying to hit certain spacing breakpoints so that when she does do that, I can just grab it. I take a little bit of damage, but not enough that I'm worried about it. And then I just keep doing this, and then when she does that, I dodge it, and I come back behind her. She will have a phase transition coming up here. My attack carried me too far forward, so I was not in the right spot for that. Here comes the transition. I guess she wants to do it over there for some reason. Right side's not good enough for her. And so now I can no longer go on the inside of her. She's setting up little traps. That was not what I wanted to do. I got jumped at, hit her on the way down, and we do this until she's dead. Dodge the mines. Almost there. Oh, I had nowhere to go because the mine was in front of her, so I just had to do that, but easy. Now we only have one final boss left, and we should be fine on estimate. But if I die to this final boss, which fingers crossed will not happen, but if I do, it is a huge time loss. She's gonna do a dying monologue thing. This is only voiced in English, so I have tried putting this in Russian or Japanese or whatever, but because it's tied to the English voice acting, even if you change language, you can't, it doesn't speed it up.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Now this section is fun. It's all the blood. It slows you down, and of course, as we saw before, if you get the hello buddy, it also totally just becomes blasphemous here, by the way, if you have seen that game. But if we get the status effect by standing in the blood or being hit too much by this guy, it's not a fun time. So we are saving our demon trigger or devil trigger. Oh, I was not supposed to fall there. And now they give you like all the money and all the resources and stuff. So we're gonna upgrade like crazy, and we're just gonna try to do this. And beware of those shotgun guys; they are not a fun time either. Ooh, that was close. All right, this is the last altar of the game. So we're gonna go up here. Now what we need to do is, this is where it kind of copies, I think it's Doom Eternal, or maybe it's Doom 2016, but there are hell priests that we need to kill to open the way to the final evil dude. So that's what we're gonna do here, is we're jumping around and we're gonna... Ooh, that guy did not want me to... I'm taking this as a safety. Some really weird stuff can happen in this section where you can just get knocked off a cliff. So I'll take that safety here. But we're gonna kill some hell priests. Here's the first one. You can tell he's a hell priest because, I don't know, he has a glowing icon or whatever. But we gotta kill 4 of them. And that will open the way up to the final boss. Now, story-wise, Lisa wants to kill the final boss too. So she's over there fighting him right now, and she's gonna get whooped, and she's gonna be there, and she's gonna be like, "I couldn't do it. Can you do it?" And then we're gonna do it. So gotta dodge that. Go back out to the next hell priest. Again, this is kind of a maze setup, and this guy is scary right here. So I gotta wait for... Okay, these are not cycled. The cycle that those are on, they can line up or they can be offset like that. They were offset, so that was unfortunate. So I killed one just to make sure that we had a little bit of safety there. That guy tried to kill me in a cutscene, not very friendly. And then we keep going. Now this next hell priest has a shotgun dude both in front of the door and in front of him. And if you get hit by this, just like the cannons from earlier, you will fly across the screen. And unfortunately on this part, unfortunately on this part, as you can see, it's on a ledge. So I let him shoot, and then I come around. Because there have been a couple of times where I was on record pace and I jump up there. I'm like, oh yeah, just kill the hell priest. It doesn't matter. And the guy just yeets me off the side of the screen. And I'm like, well, there goes my record.
Then you start flying comically across the entire screen.
I do not apparently. There we go. I missed. That's unfortunate. This guy can one-shot me if I eat all of that, so do not do it again. So now we have done all the level stuff, more or less. And we're going back for our final shopping trip. And we're going to buy all the things. We're going to buy... we're going to upgrade the sword as high as we can. There is one more hidden blueprint we did not get because it's, out of the way, but we are at +8. You can go to +10. And then all the leftover money is going to go into strength. So, because this guy's health pool it's absurd. It's just ridiculous. So we're going to take that. And because if you die and you use all your health items, you don't get them back. 25 and 2. Okay. I'm going to normally I would skip this part, but I have a little bit of extra money, so we'll just get some more of these. And this way, we have enough healing that, fingers crossed, nothing terrible happens. It's totally not been the case this run at all that terrible things happen, but no, I will warn you when we get to the boss, it's in about 30 seconds or a minute. Like I said, there will be flashing. Wait, that's not the right direction. That's right. This is the right direction. There will be flashing lights. There will be a lot of them. My eyes always hurt after I finish running this game. I always feel like I've been through a war. So I'm just gonna warn you. There will be a lot of red flashy stuff. We're gonna do Devil Trigger one more time here, and just whee. Thank you, Devil Trigger, for your service. Okay, that was not friendly. I went to the left side because I saw him. Okay, that was a non-zero chance. That could have just killed me. But it's all good. We made it to the thing. And here's Lisa. She has been trying to fight the last guy. I'm gonna grab this just in case I need it. Actually, that doesn't refill my Devil Trigger, so never mind. That was a waste of time. This boss has 2 forms. First, he's a priest. The reason this is called the Last Faith is this guy wants to be a god, and he wants to be the last of the gods. And we're like, no, you can't do that. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of red flashing lights, and he's gonna talk trash the whole time too. So this is his first form. Emperor Palpatine is how I think of him. And you know what? Oh, okay. I was gonna heal, but then he did that. His attacks are essentially random. And then we're just gonna keep doing this until he transitions into a giant evil bat god thing. And I don't know how much of the music you can hear, but the music goes hard in this fight. This is full like Bloodborne, Dark Souls type music right here.
Yeah, hear the choir.
Yeah, when the choir comes in, that's the rule of thumb. I was telling somebody that the other day, if the song has a choir, you know you're in for it.
Yeah, that's when it's serious. Is when it's like the full choir, not just like one singer, and it's like, oh boy.
All right, so he's about to transition here. This is like a 5-phase fight. This goes on for all of some time. But this is where it's going to get flashy. All right, that was not what I expected. So I'm going to run to just take a safety. I'm going to take this a little safer than maybe I would normally. I say that, and then somehow half my health disappeared. Where the things spawn and what's... Come on. All right, I said this wouldn't be a problem, and now I'm regretting that. All right, we're gonna focus up. But where these things spawn is kind of random, so this whole fight is essentially reaction based. And where he throws those crescent moon things is reaction based too. All right, here's his first screen flashy thing. He's gonna do this. It's gonna be loud. He's very angry. He's gonna do that a couple more times. I really thought that... Okay. Leave me alone. I really thought I had dodged that, but that's fine. What's nice about this guy is he does not really have anything that we are at risk of... You know what? I'm not even gonna say it.
I was like, that's brave. You're really gonna jinx yourself like that, cutie?
I was like, based on how this run is going, man, maybe I just don't. I'm gonna play this safe again. I'm gonna run away from those. We're halfway. Now he's gonna bring out our friends. You may remember these. I'm gonna heal up just to be safe here. I did that too early. And he's gonna be shooting stuff at us the whole time we're fighting these, so.
Here they go vomiting blood at us again.
Yep, as you do. And this is I didn't really talk about this healing potion, this other one that I'm using. Wow. Ooh. It's okay. It didn't one-shot us. This is why we bought just a little bit of vitality. Because these spawn seemingly random, maybe they're not, you can get into sections where you will be hit. I'm gonna do the aggressive roll forward there. You can get into spots where you will be hit almost regardless of where you are. Because sometimes right there it spreads them all out, but there is sections like this where I don't think I could go anywhere there. But you know, I heard the thing too late. I'm still okay on heals.
Give Cutie your energy, chat.
Oh, we're fine. We're gonna be fine. All right, we're doing this again. Flash warning. And then this is, I think, the last cycle. I'm gonna YOLO it a little bit more because we're good, we're okay. So I'm gonna roll forward on those hands instead of rolling away. I should have rolled forward there, but this is why I say if you die here, okay. If you die here, it's a big time loss, and it's the last fight. Oh, dodge. I don't normally duck though. Oh, okay. And then sometimes he can do little ones too. That was fun. And then we are a couple of hits. I'm gonna roll forward on these just to stay with him. One more hit, 2 more hits, and done. That's last boss. That is not the end of the game, though. That is not the end of the game. He is going to talk trash for the next like 30 seconds. He has one of my favorite lines of like an end boss. He says, I have failed to silence you, but others have heard. I just think that's really baller. Now, if you were doing the side quests and you were gonna fight the Moon Presence version of this game, this is where you could go now and unlock other things and do other stuff and fight tougher bosses. We aren't doing any of that. So this is the victory lap segment of the game where we just need to get back to the house and basically click end game. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run back there. The fastest way to do that is to intentionally die. So I am gonna go, oh wait, I do have one more devil trigger in me. Goodbye, devil trigger, last one. Actually, I'm not even gonna risk it. I ain't even gonna risk it. We want these guys to kill us as fast as possible. Hit me, hit me. Okay. All right, we got burned. Hit me. All right, now I need to be really careful not to hit checkpoint. I wanna go to the last checkpoint here so I get back to the teleporter. It locks you out of a lot of areas right now, but this is the one we need. We're back in the, let's call it the backyard of the mansion. I'm just gonna do this to be faster. It's totally not gonna put me through the floor again. And then, yeah, we're basically just on the victory lap. We're just running right to the end. We got about 30 seconds left, something like that. I've got 206 on my split, so we're underestimating, which is cool. I'm not even gonna, normally you would pick that up. I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna go right to the ending Tron 3000 where we can choose to fight these ladies if we want to, but we don't want to. So time will be coming up after I click through some dialogue. And yes, I am still doing little roll hops all the way through, just like at the beginning of the game. Hello. And time will be in like 3, 2, 1, time.
The extended one of live speedruns.
I didn't know exactly like when I'm not used to counting it down, so you know it comes down to the mash. Anyways, that was The Last Faith. So that was, it's Bloodborne. That's why I like it. It's fun. It's a fun game. If you're interested, check it out. But as you saw, it can be punishing at times. But I'm glad we made it through it. Thank you so much, chat, for hanging out with us. I guess I can do this because I'm a runner today. If you want to hang out with me, you can check me out at twitch.tv/cutie. But as always, I'm the host of Perilous Paths. We are here every other Monday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. We will be off for a week because of SGDQ. But then, right after the Monday, after SGDQ and the Showrunners Showcase, we will have a special 6-hour Perilous Paths. I'm trying to find something really cool and special to do for that 6-hour episode. So, stay tuned, but you're not going to want to miss that. Mark it on your calendar. I want to give a big shout out to Phil7 for doing Bloodstained Curse of the Moon today, for Ray for stepping in as a commentator with no notice whatsoever. I just showed up. I was like, hey, you want to be a commentator? And they were like, totally fine, let's do it. While also being the producer, by the way. So, not an easy job. Ray, anything you wanna say before we head out?
You should follow Cutie.
I will take that. But thanks everyone for hanging out. We are the Monday show, so wherever you are, whenever you are, I'm wishing you all the best rest of your week. But don't go anywhere. Hotfix is not over. We've got another 3 hours of Awfully Silly coming up. Something entirely very different than what you just saw here today. So stick around. It's going to be a great palate cleanser. You're not going to want to miss it.